Sisodia are both leading right now.
So Ravi Srivastava finally chirping
finding
a bit,
a voice.
smiling a bit, finding his voice because the AAP is now getting into the
But if
competition
the
a bit.
Axis
Yeah.
poll or the other polls are to hold, the exit polls, then this is where things will start breaking away. That the AAP will get restricted to about 28, 29, and the BJP will start streaking ahead. Now, we'll have to watch that, because if that doesn't happen, that means the exit polls were slightly off the mark. This is going to be a really tight contest, and it's going to go down to the wire. Until 12 o'clock, we may not even still have a result, which is worthy of being called.
I think this election, either the Aam Aadmi Party will face an existential crisis or the exit poll industry, because they can't keep getting it wrong again and again.
What disaster for the exit polls.
So one of the other entities will have existential crisis, either the AAP or the exit poll industry. Yes, Kriha. Arvind, Kejriwal leading now. Yes.
Trailing Jaka. So even as Arvind Kejriwal has managed that lead, Saurabh Bhardwaj, one of the key candidates of the Aam Aadmi Party, is now trailing by just 250, in fact, by 459 votes, I'm told. Atishi's margin has also now increased back to over 1,000 votes, in fact 1,100, that Mr. Biduri is in fact leading as far as Kalkaji is concerned.
Saurabh is now trailing.
And 254, that's the lead for Arvind Kejriwal from New Delhi.
Only
Now,
by
Saurabh Bhardwaj, everyone was saying, has done the best work.
He's trailing. I think this is really close. It's going to go down to the wire till
now. See, again,
noon,
flip-flop happened. AAP slips to 28. BJP
You
leads to
cannot
42.
have a
So
one-sided
with
horse
each
race.
round of counting and each constituency, I think the leads will be very, very tight.
I mean, if you're talking about a
But it's opening up.
42% vote share,
Yeah.
even at the worst, all exit polls said the the AAP will get 42%. That means it's going to be in the running for a long time.
Where Ramesh Biduri, who's just once again got into the lead against Atishi, is with us, and Alka Lamba is with us here. Ananya, yes.
कि आम आदमी पार्टी एक्सपोज 100% हो गई। दिल्ली के लोगों ने उनको एक चांस दिया था, उन्होंने झूठ बोला, पहले 5 साल में कुछ नहीं किया, मुझे मोदी जी काम नहीं करने दे रहे। अब उन्होंने माना है कि मैं सड़कें नहीं बना पाया, जबना साफ नहीं कर पाया, खुद मान लिया। अब नहीं कहा उन्होंने मोदी जी काम नहीं करने दे रहे, क्योंकि अगर वो ये कहते तो फिर दिल्ली की जनता कहती कि मोदी जी तो 5 साल और प्रधानमंत्री रहने वाले हैं, तो हम क्यों तुझे वोट दें, क्यों विकास कराएं। तो कुछ लोगों ने, जो केजरीवाल ने रेवड़ियां बांटी अपने निजी लोगों को, और कुछ गरीब लोगों को उन्होंने, अपने निजी लोगों को और कुछ गरीब लोगों को उन्होंने जो रेवड़ी बांटकर लालच देने का काम किया था, उसमें काफ़ी हद तक लोगों ने उनको नकार दिया है।
बार बार ये कहा जा रहा है कि जो इलेक्शन कमीशन है उसका इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है, पुलिस का इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है, वोट को इधर उधर करने के लिए। किस तरीके से आप
ये शुरू से ट्रेंड चला रहा है, अपनी कभी कोई देखता नहीं है। चोर अदालत में खड़ा होकर कभी थोड़ी कहता है मैंने चोरी की है, पुलिस ने मुझे नाजायज बंद कर दी है। तो एजेंसियां, संस्थाएं कभी किसी को चुनाव बनाती होती तो इमरजेंसी के दौरान भी इंदिरा जी ने इमरजेंसी लगाई थी, 77 में चुनाव हुए थे और इंदिरा जी को लोगों ने हटा दिया था जी। तो संस्थाएं, एजेंसियां अपना काम करती हैं, इसी काम के लिए बनाए, लोकतंत्र को स्थापित रखने के लिए। उन पर झूठे दोषारोपण नहीं करने चाहिए।
So this was Mr. Ramesh Biduri who was speaking to us. You heard him saying that, the Aam Aadmi Party has lost its mandate. The people of Delhi are not choosing the Aam Aadmi Party, and all the allegations that have been leveled by, in fact, the Aam Aadmi Party, as far as the Election Commission is concerned, all of them are completely baseless. Because
well, we'll have to see whether or not he holds on to that lead that he has, Ananya, right now. Whether or not he has that lead, which is a slender one, about 1,100 votes, as we got the report from the live result hub, vis-a-vis Atishi and Alka Lamba. So 42 leads for the BJP, 28 for the Aam Aadmi Party. The Congress lead has also gone away.
Yeah,
so the
Badli
Congress
seat,
is 0 now.
Yeah,
so the Badli
seat
seat has now flipped.
BJP is leading.
So the BJP has now taken the Badli seat away from the Congress party. So the Congress is at 0. I'm going to check if Nikul Patel is still with us. But what does this then define national politics? How is it defined? So it's a live studio. It's about 9:45 in the morning. All of you watching this broadcast, our viewers must be just having your breakfast and then that half cup of chai or coffee as your habit is. There is food doing the rounds even on our tables here quietly with all our guests sneaking in
Except
a few
for the two
bites
of
around,
us.
except for the two of us who are standing here and getting you this coverage.
Sing for your supper.
No, I'll tell you what. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, viewers, if you help us out, here's the promise that we are making. If you help us out, if you are with us right through this result day live coverage, and if we are the number one on YouTube, if we are the number one on television, if we are the number one across the platforms, because you are sticking with us as we get you the real numbers, you will see song and dance here. That's what we can promise.
So
it doesn't matter which party wins, which party loses.
We are leading on YouTube with 3,13,000 concurrent viewers right now.
Yeah, it's got to happen till the result happens. It's got to happen till the result consolidates. So you got to stay with us and you will see song and dance here. That's the promise we can make. Not because a political party has won or a pollster has got something right. It's because you are with us here on News 18. Yeah.
Okay, but very quickly, look, let's just get back to the grind here, so to speak, the standing vigil that you guys are keeping. Look at look at that map and look at the vote share. Now, the vote share is the interesting game here. That means the BJP has got some momentum behind it. That means even in this initial stage, where leads are going up and back and forth, etc., etc. This is not a walkover for the AAP by any stretch of the imagination. The BJP is very tightly in the lead in vote share terms. And
but there's a 5% gap only, huh? So the AAP has narrowed the gap.
Remember,
5% gap is enough.
Most polls gave it 42, 48 in any case. So if the exit poll, at least one of them...
to 47.6 versus 42.9.
That's right.
Which is exactly in line with what the average of the polls was saying.
Average exit pollsters. So the exit pollsters have done some serious homework this time because their credibility is also online.
But look at the ground the BJP has, traversed. So it's 11% in the positive. That's not small. That's a huge swing. At least.
And the AAP has also slid down the same 11%.
Exactly.
So that entire swing voter.
This tells you there is a mood here which is not in the favor of the AAP. Now, how much we don't know. Whether it will result in a lot of conversions of seats.
This is important because AAP was for the last 10 years seen as Delhi was seen as an impregnable castle for AAP.
Yes.
And certainly AAP went into this election 4 or 5 months back thinking that. Kejriwal, even the Lok Sabha, betted his entire credibility on the line, which people didn't listen to. So this is a tectonic shift, I think, in Delhi politics. Whatever the final number is, something is shifted in Delhi's politics.
Shifted in Delhi's politics, and the AAP had a huge advantage. They decided all their seats first. They did all the campaigning much before.
And by that I mean, sorry, I want to add, Smita, what I mean is that for 25 years, Delhi has not trusted trusted the BJP for a state election. And that seems to be changing.
I just wanted to bring in these two women from the Aam Aadmi Party. Very Draupadi kind of fight that they've led. One is Alka Lamba and the other one is Swati Maliwal. Swati Maliwal, of course, has been going, door-to-door campaigning against Kejriwal, made it a very intense personal battle against Kejriwal.
A lot of kula in the opposite
and the second, if I may complete, the second one is Alka Lamba, who went to the Congress, and from Kalkaji Assembly, she seems to have conceded because she says no matter what the result, we'll keep fighting, etc., etc. But she says that if Arvind Kejriwal is trailing or losing, she says it is for certain Manish Sisodia and Atishi will also lose.
Wow.
These two women, that's one point that Alka Lamba said.
Why is she a factor?
She is a bigger factor than people discuss. People talk about all kinds of things on development model and all. But that women voter that you keep saying that AAP has, they still have a lot of that. But there has been erosion because, and we don't want to put any conjectures, there are all kind of rumors going around. But Delhi is very good with rumors.
So
and
out of the
women
voter...
And those kind of rumors are, and that whole violence in his office, things like that, that dented the whole...
The women voter constituency is 41, BJP is leading in 26 and AAP only in 15. But BJP last time around won only one of those seats. So 25 out of 26 are seats that the AAP held.
So it's a real... Mr. Kejriwal's statement, he said if the women vote sticks with us, we're through. If it doesn't, now, if there's even a breach in this women vote, this was a real consolidated vote behind the AAP. If that is shifting, even by 50%, there's trouble.
ये RSS की पैनी नजर women voters पे है. From the word go, he's been saying.
Well, because they're
that it's-
indecisive. I know. This is very strange. It's a very strangely
No, I didn't
articulated.
mean it.
देखिए,
He's been talking
because
about
they are
it
the most
from-
sensible,
for so
the most steadfast voters. Okay.
Okay.
Nothing much
Totally
more than that.
flattered with your dependence on women voters to make such a difference in the Delhi
Look, the
election.
Delhi-
No, but
Okay.
I want to make a point.
I'm listening.
Women
I'm-
voters in this election, this is the first election in Delhi state assembly where more women have voted than men.
Manikam Tagore has just.
There you go.
Congress
I mean,
is
not in
absolute
Zach
numbers.
will- Zach will come in
No,
with
no,
that.
Nalin again, not in absolute
not in
numbers.
absolute number.
Percentage
Percentage.
Not
number.
even in percentage terms,
Percentage.
but anyway,
Percentage
go
terms,
on.
yes, I think.
No, only in
No,
some
no, no.
numbers.
In
Only
some
percentage.
constituencies, not overall.
So-
Okay,
so-
now Manikam Tagore of the Congress has just tweeted, December 1st, 2024, the question asked to Arvind Kejriwal in a press conference, will there be a Gadbandhan in Delhi? And he said, Delhi mein koi Gadbandhan nahi hoga. And he said, hashtag Delhi results. So that's what Manikam Tagore
So
has
Manikam Tagore represents, you know who?
41 out of
Huh.
40.
The high command.
High command. So the Congress saying it
The
was
state
Arvind
unit has a
Kejriwal
very
who walked
different
out of
view.
the
Sandeep
Gadbandhan.
Dixit said, over
Arvind
my dead
Kejriwal who
body
walked
will
out of
there
the
be an
Gadbandhan.
alliance?
देखो नतीजा क्या हो गया.
Yeah. So is this guy actually not speaking to the AAP? Is he speaking to the Sandeep Dixits of his party who did not want an alliance with the AAP? That's also a question that can be thrown up here.
Correct. So within the Congress also there are two groups. One group that wanted to continue with the India alliance and they continue to work with AAP. One group now that is blaming Aam Aadmi.
Not even a single conference.
Okay.
Anand, in this what happens is that there are some who are saying कि हम long term देख रहे थे. What is the long term repercussions? अब long term got over in 2024. Elections are over, so now you have to look short term, which is why in Haryana, when the Aam Aadmi Party totally announced that all 90 we are going to be fighting on our own, that was a sure shot signal that when in Haryana they don't even exist, you know, and to say that we will take on, they are not willing to even talk to the Congress party in Haryana. That was a sure shot signal that in Delhi they're not going to talk to you. So ye lagbag mana ho gaya, which Arvind Kejriwal had said about the Congress. This time it was the other way around. It was lagbag mana kari diya maine. From Aam Aadmi Party.
And the point that I want to make about women, coming back to this conversation, importantly, look, in a low turnout, where men have not come out in adequate numbers to be counted, women have actually done better than men in proportion by coming out to be counted. Not in absolute numbers, in proportion. So fundamentally, the women had more skin in this game. The men were slightly more, well, I mean, you know, what difference does it make? AAP or BJP, hamara kya hai? The point is, the woman voter is going to be the swing voter of this election, and that's why Mr. Kejriwal, being a canny politician, made that desperate appeal at the last moment.
The 10%.
Yes, अगर आप आओगी हमारे लिए तो फिर हम बच जाएंगे, नहीं आओगी तो फिर हमारा
तो
प्रॉब्लम.
उसमें भी टेढ़ा बोला ना that the EVMs are going to be working against the Aam Aadmi Party, but that EVM का negative will turn positive if the women voter votes for us.
Shakti
There was like multiple.
Women have different EVM.
This is anecdotal,
coloured
Rahul,
EVM.
but you know, I was speaking to
Pink
somebody who lives in Old Delhi. It's a traditional affluent family, and she was telling me that the lower middle class households, etc., that she was speaking to, and this is entirely anecdotal, but they were saying that we would this time दीदी हम लोग तो बीजेपी को वोट करेंगे
मेरा सो उल्टा चल रहा है.
क्योंकि 25
The anecdotal evidence that I got was completely different from
2500
this.
दे रहे हैं और बीजेपी तो देता भी है. So BJP has a track record of direct benefit transfer.
Maybe that Punjab non-delivery
socialist
has
credentials.
cost. I mean, you can't be lying on one side of the border and then expecting people to believe you.
People, these days news travels, and even the Maharashtra scheme, like it's not like people in Delhi have not heard. Like they're like, okay, that's worked there. So
Consistency is what is the lack of consistency,
But
perhaps
one
in the
has
AAP
one has to
between
give it
the
to
Karni and the
BJP.
Kathni.
One has to give it to the BJP, the way it has come back from 4th June 2024, when it did, significantly worse than what it had expected. The way
Can we go back to that magic wall
learned is
and go into
fantastic.
some of the clusters, Zach, and get a sense of really, I mean,
lower income groups, again, it's sort of neck and neck, but the BJP has done better than the AAP. 19 out of 32 seats, which are lower income groups. 19 of those seats the BJP is leading in, 13 only for the AAP. But it's a 16 loss. So 16 more seats the AAP had. They had 29 of the lower income seats out of 32 last time around. It's a significant erosion of the lower income seats as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. the middle class, we keep talking about the middle class, almost anywhere between a third and a fourth of Delhi is middle class. Out of 28 out of 70 seats, again the BJP, 18 out of those 28, the BJP is leading in. The AAP only in 10. A large part of that comes from West Delhi, and I keep going back to West Delhi, whether it's Harinagar, whether it is Rajouri Garden, whether it is Moti Nagar, whether it is Patel Nagar, all of these seats, it is the BJP candidate who is leading.
And these are high density clusters.
And these are high population clusters.
Saurabh still trailing in
Yes,
Kailash?
Saurabh Bhardwaj is trailing in Greater Kailash, and so is Mr. Bharti in Malviya Nagar.
You know, Saurabh Bhardwaj trailing, this just goes to show that the Congress has impacted on the Aam Aadmi Party because the BJP candidate was not expected to win. Shikha Roy, she was not expected to win at all. But the Aam Aadmi Party has got hit because him trailing makes absolute no sense. So here, the Congress has eaten up into the Aam Aadmi
Even
Party
in the
votes,
neighbouring
and that's
constituency
where.
of Kasturba Nagar,
Yeah.
where Abhishek Dutt of the
Yes.
Congress is
Is-
fighting,
yeah.
it's the BJP candidate who's leading there
So
in Kasturba Nagar.
here what happens is Abhishek Dutt was the favourite to win out here. So again, the vote has got splintered
Split.
between the Congress and
Can
the
we-
AAP, and BJP's.
Can we have a comparison of the two maps?
Yeah,
The last
so this
assembly
is-
and this one?
This is 2025 map.
Yeah.
Let's go and check the 2020 Vidhan Sabha map. Here you go. This is the 2020 Vidhan Sabha map.
Wow. I mean, this is a complete
wow.
chameleon-like color change.
Yeah. So
I mean,
So
this
because
is,
it mirrors the Lok Sabha map, that's one point.
I wish we could put all the three maps together. The
This
Lok
is
Sabha
the
map,
current
the Vidhan Sabha 2020 map, and of course the 25 map. That would give us a fair indication of which way this
So
election
this
going.
is the 2025 Vidhan Sabha. Let's look at the Lok Sabha 2024, whether it mirrors Lok Sabha 2024. More or less.
More or less. And it's those pockets where the Congress and the AAP
Because the
together
India
made
alliance, yeah.
impact. That's again where in 2025 the AAP continues to hold a bit of
Well, the
sway.
Congress clearly has lost its vote to the BJP and
And also, and it's moved to the, see the Congress is the no player here, but it's the third, it's the third player. Ramesh Biduri ji is with us. Ramesh Biduri ji, namaste. कालका जी में आपको क्या लग रहा है? अभी तक तो दिख रहा है कि आप आगे हैं, बढ़त आपको भी है और भाजपा को भी है दिल्ली में.
नहीं, देखो केजरीवाल ने जो 10 साल में झूठ परोसा, केजरीवाल ने जो बेईमानी की सारी हदें पार की, शराब घोटाला करना, 52 करोड़ का शीश महल बना लेना अपने लिए, दिल्ली के झुग्गी झोंपड़ी के लोग वही नार के जीवन जीते रहे, पीने का दिल्ली वासियों को पानी नहीं, और आपने कहा मैं सिक्योरिटी लूँगा, 2-2 राज्य की सिक्योरिटी, आपने कहा कार नहीं लूँगा, 2.5-3 करोड़ की कारें आपने खरीद ली 10 साल में सरकारी. तो इसीलिए केजरीवाल जी एक्सपोज हुए. यमुना को मैं साफ नहीं कर पाऊंगा, 5-6 में वोट मांगने नहीं आऊँगा, और बेहयाई के कारण फिर वोट मांगने आ गई, तो इतना तो दिल्ली की जनता समझेगी. एक वर्ग है वो नहीं समझने वाला है, उनको केवल बीजेपी से एलर्जी है, तो वो वर्ग नहीं समझेगा, लेकिन बाकी दिल्ली की जनता तो समझेगी ना जी.
पर रमेश बिदुरी जी, इस बार तो बीजेपी ने भी रेवड़ियां बांटी हैं. उन्होंने भी कहा है कि जो आपको मिल रहा था वो तो मिलेगा ही, उससे ज्यादा देंगे. तो फिर फर्क क्या हो गया दोनों में? फिर
कौन जानता है यार मिल्कीपुर.
आई एम सॉरी. पढ़े लिखे होने के बाद अंतर करना सीखिए. ये चैनल जो करते हैं, बीजेपी ने कभी रेवड़ी नहीं बांटी. बीजेपी ने गरीब आदमी के एम्पावरमेंट के लिए, उसकी आवश्यकता की पूर्ति के लिए गरीबों को दिया है. अगर अन्न दिया जा रहा है 6,000 लोगों को, 6,000 रुपए लोगों को, तो छोटे किसानों को, गरीबों को दिया जा रहा है, सबको नहीं दिया जा रहा. गैस का कनेक्शन क्या गरीब परिवार की बेटी को नहीं मिलना चाहिए? 70 साल में मुहैया नहीं हो पाया, वो मजदूरी करता है, तो 11 करोड़ गैस के कनेक्शन दिए. झुग्गी झोपड़ी में रहने वाली जो माता बहनें हैं, जो गरीब परिवार की बहनें हैं, उनको अगर मध्य प्रदेश में पहले से बीजेपी देती आ रही है महिला सम्मान के रूप में, वो देने की बात करिए. तुम ही अपने जेब खर्चा, अगर पापा जब तुम्हें स्कूल भेजते रहे होंगे या अपने बेटे को भेजोगे, और उसकी पॉकेट मनी आप 500 रुपये दे दो 10वीं क्लास में, और 11वीं में पॉकेट मनी 400 कर दो, तो बेटा क्या कहेगा आपके बारे में? एक बार इस देश में किसी को कोई चीज मिल जाती है तो लोकतंत्र में लोग कहते हैं मेरा हक छीनने का काम हो रहा है. तो मोदी जी किसी का हक नहीं छीनते. किसी सरकार ने ऐसी गलती की है और किसी को अननेसेसरी उसको देने का काम किया है, तो मोदी जी उसका हक क्यों छीने? तो मोदी जी ने कहा है जिसको हक पुरानी सरकारों ने दिया उसका हक अब मिलता रहेगा. उसके लिए डेवलपमेंट इफेक्ट पड़ेगा, लेकिन केंद्र से मदद करके डेवलपमेंट को दिल्ली में किया जाएगा. तो इसीलिए मोदी साहब ने कोई रेवड़ी नहीं बांटी है, कोई नई ऐसी योजना लागू नहीं की. जो पहले से बीजेपी 10 साल से देश में दे रही है, वही दिल्ली में घोषणा की गई है.
पर एक बात बताइए रमेश बिथुरी जी, अगर आम आदमी पार्टी कहती है महिलाओं को 2100 देंगे, बीजेपी ने कहा है कि हम 2500 देंगे, तो कहीं ना कहीं आज राजनीति कहीं उस लेवल पर नहीं आ गई कि आपको जो कहा गया वो देना तो पड़ेगा, उसके ऊपर से आपको गवर्नेंस करके दिखाना पड़ेगा? ये चैलेंज तो बढ़ गए आपके.
बिल्कुल. हम कोई चैलेंज नहीं है। हम मध्य प्रदेश में दे रहे हैं 1000 रुपये, हम छत्तीसगढ़ में दे रहे हैं, हम महाराष्ट्र में दे रहे हैं, हम हरियाणा में दे रहे हैं। कोई इफेक्ट हुआ क्या? कोई डेवलपमेंट पे फर्क पड़ा क्या? मोदी जी किसान सम्मान निधि के 11 करोड़ लोगों को 6000 दे रहे हैं, कोई डेवलपमेंट पे फर्क पड़ा क्या? वो बजट की रेशो देखी जाती है, बजट के अनुसार कितना पैसा लोगों के वेलफेयर के लिए लगाना है, कितना पैसा डेवलपमेंट में लगाना है। लेकिन आप एक मुश्त, जब बांग्लादेश से आ जाओ, चाहे कोई वर्ग हो, किसी को आवश्यकता है नहीं है, लो मुझे वोट दे दो, लालच लोगों में देकर और सबको बांट रहे हो, इसको रेवड़ी कहते हैं।
देखिए,
ये
आप
अंतर
दिल्ली
मीडिया को समझना पड़ेगा। आई एम सॉरी।
नहीं, मैं समझ गया आपकी बात, पर ये कंपल्शन भी तो हो गया। मैं इस बात से कह रहा हूं कि एक राजनेता होकर के आपकी भूमिका काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट भी हो सकती है आगे जाकर, जैसा भी पार्टी तय करेगी। लेकिन मैं ये चाहता हूं कि क्या ये दिल्ली की पॉलिटिक्स हो गई है कि जब तक आप कुछ किसी को फ्री में नहीं देते हो तब तक वो आपको वोट नहीं देंगे, और उसके बाद आपको जो भी काम करना है उनके लिए वो भी करना पड़ेगा, विकास का काम।
देखो, ये ट्रेंड साउथ से चल रहा है। बंगाल में देखिए आप, बंगाल में क्या चल रहा है, तेलंगाना में देखिए आप, तमिलनाडु में देखिए आप, है ना? ये सब जगह ट्रेंड चलाने का प्रयास किया, ये भाजपा ने नहीं किया। देश इसीलिए कांग्रेस के टाइम में भी यही चला, एक वर्ग रईस होता चला गया था। ये ट्रेंड पहले से चला आ रहा है। एकदम आने के बाद अगर हाथ किसी पत्थर के नीचे दब जाए, उसको झटके से खींचोगे तो छिल जाएगा, उसको धीरे धीरे निकाला जाता है। तो इसलिए ट्रेंड चल रहा है। लोगों में विश्वास धीरे धीरे मोदी जी पैदा कर रहे हैं कि गरीब आदमी का अगर विकसित भारत हो जाएगा तो उसको एक टेंशन खत्म हो जाएगी कि एमबीबीएस उसका अगर प्रतिभाशाली बच्चा करना चाहेगा तो उसको फीस नहीं देनी पड़ेगी। आज आयुष्मान भारत कार्ड बनाकर 5 लाख लोगों को हेल्थ फैसिलिटी जो देने का काम मोदी जी कर रहे हैं, तो इसलिए जो बीमार होगा उसी को मिलेगा ना। तो अब आदमी को ये लगेगा कि मेरे परिवार में कोई बीमार हो जाएगा, मुझे गहने नहीं बेचने पड़ेंगे, मुझे असेसरी दो हराम से पैसा लेकर उसको इकट्ठा नहीं करना पड़ेगा, वो सेटिस्फैक्शन हो जाएगा उस व्यक्ति को। तो इस प्रकार की योजनाएं लाकर कि जो नीडी है उसको दिया जाए, इसमें थोड़ा समय लगेगा, लेकिन ये बंद हो जाएगा धीरे धीरे मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में। मोदी जी को बंद।
आपका आकलन क्या है कालका जी को लेकर और दिल्ली को लेकर? अभी तो आंकड़े 41-29 दिखा रहे हैं, 41 इन फेवर ऑफ बीजेपी।
मेरा मामला है भारतीय जनता पार्टी 39 से लेकर 50 सीटों के बीच में आएगी। मैं पहले 46 कहता रहा हूँ, आज तक 46 सीटों के बीच में, लेकिन अभी मुझे पता नहीं है क्या कौन सी सीट का क्या ट्रेंड है। लेकिन भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनेगी और कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी 50 तक भी पहुंच जाए।
अगर अरविंद केजरीवाल, आतिशी और मनीष सिसोदिया हारते हैं तो इसका मतलब क्या? अंतिम प्रश्न आपसे।
नहीं, मतलब साफ है ना कि यही लोग बड़े चोर थे, यही 2 जेल गए थे, इन्होंने वायदे किए थे। जो एरिया में एमएलए उनके नाम से जो जीत करा रहा था, तो इसलिए मुखिया ही भ्रष्ट थे, तो इसलिए मुखिया को अगर मार दिया जाए, अगर शतरंज के में प्यादे मारने से कोई लाभ नहीं है, राजा को मारा जाता है तो अपना आप सारे प्यादे मर जाते हैं जी।
रमेश बिधूरी जी, ऑल द वेरी वेरी बेस्ट।
तो जनता ने राजा को मार दिए, राजाओं को मार रही है। ठीक है,
आपको बात ठीक, ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट। नतीजे समाप्त होने के बाद आपसे फिर बात करने की कोशिश करेंगे। थैंक यू वेरी मच। सो 39-31 at this point, Ramesh Biduri saying that the people of Delhi have rejected the false promises of Arvind Kejriwal, and because some of these compulsions promises have been made in the past, so the compulsion for the current governments or the incumbents or even the aspirants to continue with the promises while delivering on governance. So celebrations have begun for the BJP. Yes.
Touch 31.
31,
So,
and the
small
BJP is
caveat
slipping
here.
below 40.
It's still early. I know that the BJP is celebrating. We saw that in Haryana elections where the Congress was celebrating very quickly. Let's not.
See, I'll tell you one thing. It's post 10 o'clock. I said very clearly, post 10 o'clock you will see reactions. Look at how the Congress is reacting. The Congress has somewhere called the elections for Delhi. They have called the elections saying that the AAP is losing because Manikam Tagore, Alka Lamba, look what they say. Alka Lamba is contesting. No, I'm just saying Alka Lamba is contesting. Alka Lamba is against Ramesh Biduri and Atishi.
So she's saying that he's winning. But my problem with the Congress is this. When it loses, the EVM is to blame. When its competitors, even whether they're in the India bloc, lose, then they deserve it. How is this possible? How is this possible that now they're delighting in the AAP's loss? They're not blaming the EVM. Rahul Gandhi yesterday, and I saw that press conference, there was Supriya Sule on one side, and there was another leader Sanjay Raut on the other. He's sitting in the middle, and he says, I'm speaking for all the opposition. Today, is this party speaking for all the opposition? Is it going to speak up for the AAP and say, no, there is something wrong with the EVM, the EC didn't tell us what the overall turnout was, they only gave it to us late. Now, you can't do this.
No. Sharad Pawar's NCP, Sanjay Raut and Rahul Gandhi, these three parties are not all the opposition. That's what the thought process within the India alliance is, where the Trinamool Congress believes, the RJD believes, the Samajwadi Party believes, and now the Aam Aadmi Party believes that we are a better opposition than you are. So that's what.
Where is the war room?
See,
Have you seen any of these top rung of the Congress, as Rahul has pointed out? Where are the top rung of the Congress party? Koi bhi nikla hai? Who has come out and gone to the counting centers or have a war room or talk to the press? Nothing.
Don't you see that there is between Haryana, Delhi and Maharashtra, the Congress localized the entire election management and campaigning rather than having too many of its national leaders being involved. And they are trying to say, okay, you believe locally you will fight and we don't want Rahul Gandhi, you don't want the central leadership to be involved. Try and fight the local elections and show me what you can do. Bhupinder Hooda lost. Nana Patole and Prithviraj Chavan and the rest of the gang, they could not make inroads. And now Sandeep Dixit, and this is what will be told to Sandeep Dixit, Ajay Makhan, that you have not been able to deliver. Into the numbers.
A couple of things
40-30 again.
So SC reserve seats, I think Nalin had mentioned this. So now I think we're seeing a bit of a change there in SC reserve seats. AAP is leading in 8, BJP in 4. So I think AAP is holding on to some of those Dalit voters. Also want to bring into focus the Purvanchal influence. Purvanchali voters, again, was a substantial AAP base. They still have the lead, but it's just a neck and neck thing between AAP and BJP. Much of them on the eastern side of Delhi, it's 13 to AAP and 12 to BJP. So Purvanchali voters and Dalit voters, the AAP seems to be holding on. Let's also quickly check on the Muslim voters, where the Muslim voters are in excess of 30%. Again, in Old Delhi, I see that AAP is... okay, there again, AAP is leading by 2. So out of the 10 seats, AAP 6 and BJP 4, including, of course, in Chandni Chowk and Sadar Bazaar,
But in all these clusters, there's been attrition for the AAP. The AAP is holding on, but just barely. There's been
gains
attrition.
for the BJP, significant.
How many rounds of counting? Let's quickly check with Griha. Yes, Griha.
While we are at it, because the rounds are really, beginning to trickle in. Right now we are learning, and this is an interesting update. So far, the biggest lead is coming for a BJP candidate from Mustafabad. So that is something, and the lead is of 16,181 votes. Mr. Bish there is leading. 7 rounds have been counted in Vishwasnagar. BJP has a lead of more than 8,000 votes there. Shahadra 2, this 5th round, BJP has a lead of 4,200 votes. So that is there. Also, we are going to tell our viewers that Delhi Cant is where the results come in first, because there are just about 8 rounds that need to be counted there. Out of there, the 3rd round of counting is on, and BJP has a very slim lead of just 303 votes right now.
Okay, thanks for that update,
Shakur Basti, he's trailing. Mr. Jain, Satyendra Jain, the former health minister, is trailing.
The gentleman who went to jail, you're saying?
Satyendra Jain who went to jail. See,
all the jailbirds are having a problem.
Also, Raki Birla, former speaker of Aam Aadmi Party, is also trailing.
Is trailing. See, the 4-5 big figureheads of faces. Arvind Kejriwal, Atishi, Manish Sisodia, Satyendra Jain, Gopal Rai, Raki Birla. These are the 6 who are central, along with the likes of Saurabh Bhardwaj, Somnath Bharti. Now, this would be the 5 or 8 people of the Aam Aadmi Party who are the big faces. Saurabh Bhardwaj, so far, has steered clear of any controversy, and he's been working very well in his constituency. Now, if he loses...
He's leading again.
So, he's back in the lead. Saurabh Bhardwaj is in the lead. The rest, Raki Birla was speaker. But the other 6 have been part of this entire core Arvind Kejriwal, Kejri model of governance, and also the inner control. So, Arvind, if he lost control, he depended on Manish Sisodia, Gopal Rai.
The only ones in the AAP
and then there is also Sanjay Singh, who's an MP who's not contesting in this
election. Yes, so the only ones in the AAP right now who are safe are the Rajya Sabha lot.
We have to see.
But 1 minute.
What does that imply with the people of Delhi? You know what Smita was just saying. Smita was saying a short while ago how they said that if...
What is the situation in New Delhi?
Kejriwal is right now leading, but by a few hundred votes.
Few hundred votes. Barely by a few hundred votes in New Delhi. But again, there was this entire... If 2 of the 3 who are in the fray...
now again, Jangpura, Mr. Sisodia is trailing. Mr. Marwa is leading in Jangpura. Again, I don't know the exact margin, but after leading for about 15-20 minutes, again now Mr. Sisodia is trailing in Jangpura.
BJP's Tarvinder Singh Marwa is leading.
But Tarvinder Singh Marwa. So that's what, see, what did you quote Alka Lamba as saying? That Arvind Kejriwal, Sisodia, Atishi, all three will lose.
If Arvind Kejriwal loses, then these two cannot win. That they will also lose. Ojha is also trailing.
Yeah, Ojha has been trailing since morning. Patparganj perhaps explains why Mr. Sisodia changed the seat in the first place. Mr. Ojha has been
No,
trailing
look at the
since
leads
He was a weak
consolidate once
candidate.
again. 43 to the BJP, 27 to the Aam Aadmi Party. So as more and more EVMs are opening and more rounds of counting, the BJP is continuing to consolidate itself. It's not losing ground. 43-27. Ramesh Biduri, when he spoke with us, he said 39 to 50 is my range, although I've been saying 46 seats. We may cross 50 or we may touch 50, he said. He said, I don't know how things are opening up, but he was quietly confident that he will hold on to Kalkaji, or he will perhaps be able to punch a hole in Kalkaji and win Kalkaji. But it's a big thing that if your top 5-6 faces of the Kejri model of governance are struggling to hold on to their leads and are just by, barely, and they're in a, give and go here. Now, it's 43. Yes, Nalin, you were wanting to make a point. Yeah.
I want to make a point that now let's wait and see another half an hour for the leads. But one thing is very clear: the BJP has fought this election like a startup. It's an election. It's an electoral behemoth. But see, when the Congress makes gains, it gains often at the expense because other guy is just not performing well, right? What the BJP has done is it's gone into the opponent's backyard and it's really wresting gains from right from its core backyard. That tells you something about the nature of politics of the BJP at the moment. And what I think in a national context, from June 4 to now, you've had Haryana, you've had Maharashtra, you've had Delhi. You've basically had a full circle. All the gains, all the losses BJP has had, it's kind of recovered those. I would say it's in a stronger position than much more stronger position than it was then. And Delhi means it's recovered.
I want all of you to also weigh in on this part that Ramesh Biduri said. He said, a promise that's been made already, a dole that's been given, cannot be taken away immediately because that causes dissonance. So we have no other option but to continue the existing dole but deliver a better form of governance. And he said this trend started from the south. He says Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Bengal, Karnataka, they have all started this, and now we have to want to do it because the voter has now been spoiled. He says, हाथ के नीचे पत्थर के नीचे हाथ है तो झट से खींचोगे तो छिल जाएगा. So you got to take it out slowly. You got to wean them away slowly.
Talking about the doles, in the Juggi seats out of 18, it's neck and neck. AAP 9, BJP 9. And I think you're right. I mean, it'll be decided in these
those
Juggi
polls
seats.
that I've witnessed were not wrong. Those internal surveys that the BJP conducted where they said that we're making inroads into the disadvantaged clusters of the city. And we're also gaining in the women vote. We don't know where this is. This is about 15 days before the vote was cast. So they were still waiting for the Prime Minister to hit the ground, and then he made that emotional appeal. And the BJP hadn't still really announced its panoply of benefits that it's not.
See, I also want to talk about the Jat votes, because we underplay the Jat influence in Delhi. Parvesh Verma at the end of the day is a Jat. Maybe he was given the wrong constituency, but look at the outer Delhi constituencies, Narela, Rithala, all of that. These are constituencies that the BJP has never won. And I want to compare this to the 2020 Vidhan Sabha map. Look at all this sea of saffron around the outskirts of Delhi. Let's take a look at how it was in 2020 Vidhan Sabha.
Wow.
Look at that. That entire thing. BJP did not win a single seat in all of these constituencies. Jat dominated seats.
Mr. Biduri made a very interesting remark. And he said that, look, I don't know if you caught on. He said, Sheila Dikshit suffered because of delimitation.
Delimitation.
She made that point. I think the BJP, when you said maybe you've not got the right constituency, I think the BJP has been able to go down into every little constituency and figure out the demographics there very accurately, because the way they picked their candidates this time, most of them nameless faces, by the way. There's a lot of pressure on the Amit Shah, coterie to basically accommodate a lot of known names. They haven't done that. Correct. A lot of their people are unknowns.
See, Parvesh Sharma, Ramesh Biduri, MPs not given tickets, asked to fight MLA elections, one against former Chief Minister, another one sitting Chief Minister. Satish Upadhyay, again, going on to take on a high-profile candidate. And then Tarvinder Singh Marwa, up against Manish Sisodia. The BJP is telling these leaders, we are not going to name you. you perform, you defeat them, then immediately you become candidates for potential chief ministers.
And that's
Now,
also a way to unite the party.
and
If
yeah,
everyone has a skin in the game, no one is going to pull
and
each other
all
down.
of you have got to beat an incumbent who's been there around for a decade in Delhi politics and is a strong person. So these are all possibilities which the BJP has looked very carefully. But the other point I was trying to make, and I just lost my train of thought there. Coming back to the clusters, the BJP seems to have gone and said on ground, I will continue the existing doles, but I'll deliver you better governance.
Yeah.
I will not only give you your free bus, I will not only give you 2,500 rupees, they are saying 21, I'll give you 25, but I will clean up the Yamuna for you.
And
I will
smoother
build
roads
better
and
roads for you. I will build a Viksit Delhi while giving you. Suman Berry, the chairperson of the Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Council after Bibek Debroy, the vice chairperson of Niti Aayog, he told me, he said, Anand, we figured out a model where growth and inclusion can go hand in hand. And that's what we're going to work on. That's what the Prime Minister wants to deliver. So if the BJP has figured that out, then other parties will
And
now have to
the
play
AAP
catch
also,
up on
because
that
of
front.
its fight with the governor and the centre, stopped one of the main benefits for the elderly.
Yeah.
You know, there was a scheme that was designed specifically for the elderly. They didn't implement it because they said, we must have first dibs. So they got into that
Also,
kind of...
yeah, Zaka, I mean, your point of, the Jat belt, the outer Delhi seats.
He kept saying, Zakas
BJP
kept saying
doing
that
well.
this election will be won in Outer Delhi.
No,
Yeah.
whether Parvesh Verma wins or loses, giving him a seat against Kejriwal sent the message that Parvesh could become the CM of Delhi.
Yeah.
Elevated
And
his-
that sent a message. Also, BJP has given disproportionately more seats to Jat candidates, considering
It's also sending a message to Haryana, no? It's also
could
sending
be,
a
could
message
be.
back to Haryana.
Could be.
That the Jats have not been forgotten.
Yeah.
And this will also help, it will send a message into Punjab. What's going to happen in Punjab going forward, knock-on effect, if these results hold, the AAP is in serious pressure because the Congress will come, biting at the bits.
Well, if
the
Kejriwal
BJP will want to
goes-
try and make inroads into a place where they steered clear because of SAD and Prakash Singh Badal. So that's not there. That alignment is not there anymore. So the BJP has said, and the Prime Minister in a rally very clearly said, कि देखिए पंजाब का भी नज़ारा बदलेगा. पंजाब में भी परिस्थितियां बदलेंगी. He has said that. So the BJP will move into that direction. There is an eye on Gujarat. You don't want the AAP getting into Gujarat again. You want to keep sure
I
that
want
the
to
mandate
mention in
happens.
Okla, Amanatullah is trailing.
Amanat.
Manish Chaudhary of the BJP is leading in Okla right now. And
Oh, so that's big.
That is a big statement.
That's big. So 43-27. So 3 short of what Ramesh Biduri said. His expectation is that the BJP will lock on, that is 46. But well clear, very well clear. 7 clear or 8 clear of the halfway mark at 43. It's 10:25.
So are we-
around 11 o'clock. Do you see this further consolidating in favor of the BJP?
Well, if this,
given what's happening
if this
now,
trend holds, yes. And if we are by that time, if you are
Sanjay
in 5
Singh
or
is at
6
Arvind
rounds,
Kejriwal's residence. Yeah,
if
please.
you are at 5 and 6 rounds of counting, and this trend is holding, then yes, the AAP is in trouble.
But Arvind leading in New Delhi?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He is.
Okay.
Arvind is leading in New Delhi, but how much we don't know. So we'll have to go back because there's been a
We'll
back
check
and
with
forth
Griha,
there.
yeah.
We'll check with Griha. But if it's 5 or 6 rounds and that trend is holding, it's going to be tough.
So the high women voter turnout that you saw in those 41 constituencies, BJP is leading in 25, AAP only in 16. But all out of 25, 24 are
gains.
pickups from the
From the Aam Aadmi. So the women
gains.
voters have swung in a different direction compared to what many would
Yes.
have thought. Yes, Griha.
Are in fact getting to know that Kejriwal is still maintaining that lead. Right now, the website is still at 343, but we'll get you a fresh update. Do we have an update on New Delhi? Arvind Kejriwal leading by just 223 there.
It's a big thanks for that update, Griha. 223 votes for the
Very.
AAP convener, former Chief Minister of Delhi.
It's looking
someone who
difficult
said,
for him. Looking difficult. He might even lose this. He might even lose this. This is not a resounding, emphatic reassertion of his credibility. This is actually now becoming a problem.
And New Delhi is a small constituency.
Very
It has
small.
barely about 1 lakh voters.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just thinking he'll have to come to the press conference in the evening, which he
Fourth
will.
round is going on in New Delhi.
He's a brave
He's going to blame
politician.
the election commission. He's going to say it was unfair. Let me just preempt what is going to
no, hang
happen
on.
in
Well,
That's
Delhi.
what I'm saying. That
this is- yeah.
and part of the aura of leaders like Kejriwal and Modi also is that they never lose. Like at least in Delhi, Kejriwal has never lost. Like he comes. That's the charisma, right? In fact, when the BJP didn't do as well, 400 par didn't happen. it kind of like shook the thing for a while, not anymore because BJP keeps on winning again. But that itself, you know, and if you lose your own constituency and then your party loses from such a big majority, you come down to this, how is he going to face it? I don't think he can just say, yeah, he will say there were forces against us, but I think he'll have to say that.
Chetan, he lost in Varanasi when he's lost.
Those were never expected to win. I mean, he was never expected to win.
But what I'm saying is that he has lost election. It's not as if it's the first time that he's losing. Yes, it's the first time that he's losing in Delhi, which was where the party was born. So that I can understand. But he's somebody who has fought against all odds. He's fought against his own people.
But if he loses his constituency...
But you know, you're right, because he lost his halo.
Yeah.
You know, in 24, when he says, vote for me because and punish those who sent me to jail, and nothing happened.
Normally, Rahul, all jailed CMs come back to power. Normally.
They come back to power.
Lalu,
but
Hemant Soren, Jayalalitha,
Indira Gandhi.
I mean, yes, but they all have resigned.
Chetan has a point.
When they go, they all resign.
Chetan has a point here because generally jail makes you a martyr. Yeah. You know, you come back with where people think, oh, you know, this guy has been, you know, politically downtrodden and all of that. In this case, that's not worked. The sympathy is not stayed.
Even Naidu Saab.
It actually has hurted his.
So many. Normally it's like, but they all resign. And if you had if there was a time, there was a Prashant Bhushan, there was Yogendra Yadav, there were all these people that say, you know what, I'll go to jail, but I've got these people, they will run Delhi for you, they'll do a great job, don't worry, I'm in there. That was not the equation, right?
He showed that he was hungry for power, which
well,
doesn't go with the
call it hungry, call it insecure, call it whatever. But he was the power, he was the only leader. If he's gone, how will Delhi be run? It was not very clear.
And secondly, there was also, remember, talk that his wife would be the designated, you know, backseat driver. And
that was the Lalu Rabdi model that was equated to. The other thing is, he went to jail or he was accused of things that he promised to the people of Delhi he will never do. He said that I don't want a Sheesh Mahal. I don't want lavish life. I am happy in a 2-bedroom. I don't want bodyguards. I don't want big cars. मुझे तो मेरी WagonR ठीक है जी.
The excise policy was.
And he said कि दिल्ली में शराब बंद करा देंगे.
Let's say the fodder scam of Lalu. We haven't never seen the fodder scam, right? We kind of know that there was a case, but nobody in the country saw. But the excise policy was changed, and it's there for all to see that it benefited these people. So
like the 2G policy.
Yeah, now it's a policy change. Whether there was corruption or not, I'm not making any conjectures, but it just puts doubt in people's mind.
No,
like, something has happened.
Where the doubt did not come because the policy was changed, Chetan. The doubt came because the day the LG said, I'm going to issue an inquiry into this policy, they came back and went back to the old policy. Yeah. Why did you do that? If you believe, and 4 days ago, 4 days before that, he had said that this is the best thing for Delhi. And then he went back and said, no, I'm taking this back. So I think that's where the whole thing saying that, listen, if this was good for me, why are you taking it away? If it is not good for me, why did you bring it in the first place? And you said you don't want a big house. You don't want lavish. Why do you want, gold-plated taps and, this one?
Jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi and 6 lakh rupees toilets, etc.
Jacuzzis are overrated. Nobody uses jacuzzis. I can tell you one thing.
They're overrated.
No, I mean, does anyone use bathtubs?
This jacuzzi was a wave maker. Did you see the number of little funnels there that were going to...
Faucets.
You would have been flying in the air if that jacuzzi had gone.
That's a jacuzzi user for you.
I know. I mean,
clearly there are fans.
And why does
Mini bar, that's just the point. Look at the...
Hey, don't be a prude.
The optics.
No,
the optics.
I think he was offended Rahul by the jacuzzi comment.
It was so extra. And like I said, what was also extra was the whole WagonR thing in the beginning. Now, if you've gone for it, then stick to it. Like I said, Mamta is the best example. Those chappals never change.
Well, if these... correct. Those chappals, they were... Ramdev, 7% stakeholder, if not more, of a 50,000 crore company, but he's still Ramdev. No, he's not changed.
Yeah.
That's a reality.
Let me give you a source-based information that I have, not verified, but source-based is that somebody gave him a feedback that, that Reynolds pen and that oversized shirt and all, people of Delhi got tired of that. The people of Delhi are fashion-savvy guys. They got tired that, how are you going to lead this dynamic city if you're looking so bad? So then came in this puffer jackets and stuff like that, where he looks like muscular and that I can handle anybody. I can handle that juggernaut of election
this was
machinery.
planned?
of
Are you
BJP.
saying that this is
This
planned?
is source based, as I'm saying. I don't know whether that was the
So you're
reason
saying
that
the
he
Puff
came.
Daddy look?
Who is the
Puff Daddy look was all.
No, but the fact is that Arvind Kejriwal came to power from those people who wear a muffler with this one and a sweater and an oversized shirt. That was the
But you know,
common person
people
of
get-
Delhi
the world
who said that
changes.
this guy is
took
there
those-
sitting
and you have
and
to
doing
He
my
took
work.
those for granted
you know,
that ye
someone
to
said
ho
the
gaya.
other day,
I
don't
think
keep
you
me-
don't take voters for granted
No,
is a lesson the
actually-
BJP also learnt in Lok Sabha 2024.
There was a
You
point
don't
that
take
somebody
voters for
made the
granted.
other day, and it was an interesting one. I think it was right after the budget, the tax cut had come, and people said, this is another way of the left sort of ecosystem now taking the thing out of the tax cut. Don't make me feel poor. Like thinking that badi meherbani ki hai, tax cut, that I need desperately a tax cut. Make me feel that I can go to the next
Empowered.
level. Empowered. Now, has that happened with Mr. Kejriwal? Somewhere the aspirational Delhi voter
and
has said,
think about this, right? So Delhi's per capita GDP 10 years back versus now, even if you assume 7% growth, that's doubled. So there's not enough poor people.
So you create another
There's just
more-
not enough poor people who value these freebies as much. I'm saying there is a certain. I'm just saying the world changes.
See, I'll tell you.
then the BJP would not be. Then the
Maybe
BJP
after
There is
COVID, I
Delhi
think
is very
this-
Delhi
No,
is
and
very
also the
clear
BJP wouldn't
after
be
COVID or
promising.
before that there is a very clear thing, especially among the women, among the lower middle income groups or lower middle groups, that they want a free bus, lesser electricity bill, lesser water bills.
But here's what's
gives
happening.
them
So here's
more
what some
money in their
people say.
pocket to pursue
On
their
the
should
previous
rock the
answer, here's what
American
people
election.
say. The moment you have 201 units of electricity, the full bill comes.
Yeah.
On 200 and below, it doesn't come. So maybe there's enough people who need more than 200 now. For
Correct.
example, for women, some guys have told me they have made it free for women, so they don't walk at all now. They just get on the bus for even one bus stop, and the buses are always crowded. I mean, I'm just saying there are repercussions of all kinds.
There is a strong middle class, tax-paying middle class who very clearly came out on the day of voting also said ये freebie culture बंद करो. But there is a tabka below that who believe that
the
this,
BJP is
this
a very,
helps me
the BJP
feel
is a very
far-
poll-savvy party. They are
Yeah.
focused on how to
Yeah.
win elections. They would not have been upping the
See,
stakes.
41-29,
stakes. Had they
41-29.
thought
By the way, Revdi
Acha,
is
Chetan
not
Bhai,
cheap. Can I tell you something? I want to end this as a Revdi lover association.
Yeah.
You check the price of Revdi on, just Google it. It's the same 600 to 800 rupees a kilo, same as Motichur Laddu. Say it's high quality sesame ingredients, good ingredients. Why is Revdi so condemned? And Revdi is not cheap. And that is
agree.
also true that Revdi in real life or in political also not
He's
cheap.
a real
not
member
cheap.
of the RWA,
No.
Revdi
No,
Welfare Association.
Revdi is not cheap.
Revdi
is not
but
cheap.
Revdi
It
is not
looks.
cheap even metaphorically. When you make these freebies, it
It,
is not
no,
good
no,
for
it
the
feels
state.
it feels like a lean, mean, sweet,
not.
but it's not cheap.
It's not
and the same thing in real life in policy also. It feels like a lean, mean thing, but it's
it's
not
so
cheap because it costs the
analogy.
exchequer.
Wow.
That's
That's
what
the
I'm
thing.
saying.
And maybe to keep people in
but
poverty
one
also
thing,
not
one
cheap.
thing, that
Yeah,
gentleman
it's
there, one thing, if these results hold, 41-29, there will not just be song and dance. You would also see Rahul Shivshankar having Daulat Ram ki chart. That's also going to happen today.
Ain't gonna happen, man.
It will happen.
The fact that he's not singing.
A quick
It's all
psychological
carbs.
point.
Rahul is not going to have it. It's all carbs. And fat.
Quick
No, he'll play
psychological
one
point
more
on
game
New
of
Delhi
tennis tomorrow.
constituency.
That's what will happen.
My
Yeah,
colleague
yeah.
Gaurav
Given the same
from
numbers in
Gaurav
our
Chaudhary, my
office,
colleague, makes an important
Yeah.
psychological point on the New Delhi constituency. The AAP's, right, so far the booths that have been counted have been AAP stronghold booths.
Oh,
There have
wow.
been a slight lead.
Wow.
The booths that remain now are BJP stronghold
How
booths.
do you know this?
That's what our reporters are telling us. on the
Reporter
ground.
are saying on ground that this
colleague
225,
Gaurav is there,
250 vote lead has been on the counting booths which have been Aam Aadmi Party strongholds. Now the BJP stronghold booths are going to be counted. So this is pressure on Arvind Kejriwal unless there is this shift away. Parvesh Verma the other day when he spoke with her, I'm going to go back to that again, and he said first thing when Rahul only asked him, "Aap jeet rahe hain ki nahi?" He said, "Arvind Kejriwal se pucho wo haar raha hai." That's what he said.
1000% he said I'm winning.
हाँ, and he said 1000% I'm winning, and then he also said 123 booths में से 123 booth हम जीत रहे हैं. That was the confidence Parvesh Verma exuded. Sandeep Dixit also somewhere says Arvind Kejriwal is losing. He's not said whether I am winning or not. He said Arvind Kejriwal is losing. Today Alka Lamba says if Arvind Kejriwal is losing, Atishi is losing, Manish Sisodia is losing. The trends are showing that Kapil Mishra currently is leading from Karawal Nagar. The BJP is strong in 41 seats. Arun Dhanda joining us from the BJP office. Yes, Arun. रेवड़ी है, जलेबी है.
Well, Well, Jalebi hasn't ordered yet, but they are going to order it soon. That's what Virendra Sachdeva has told us. Let me quickly show you a glimpse. This is outside the BJP office. You can see these dhol nagadas are already here. Though the workers of BJP still to join them. You can see few of them, 3 or 4 workers around these dhol and nagadas, and this has already been started. In fact, once they will get the permission to go inside the BJP office, then you will see them going inside. But of course, the leaders like Virendra Sachdeva, Harsh Malhotra, they all have started arriving here at BJP office.
So let's contrast this with the AAP office. Let's contrast these pictures, if we can, with the AAP office. Anshul is also there. Arun, stay on with us. Yes, Anshul.
So yes, as you rightly mentioned, there is a drastic contrast out here outside the Aam Aadmi Party office. I'll just try and show you the stage that was set up this morning is still absolutely empty. Since morning, the only person who has gotten up on stage was the person who went ahead to check the mics over here. And since then, the entire environment over here is right outside the Aam Aadmi Party office is absolutely somber. Just a few moments ago, this news broke that Arvind Kejriwal is leading by a few votes, and then there was a little celebration that happened over here. But at this point in time, neither the workers nor any leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party has yet turned up at the Aam Aadmi Party office out here in the national capital. I'll just try and take in a word from a few workers of the Aam Aadmi Party. भैया क्या लग रहा है ये रुझान देख करके? ऐसा लग रहा है कि इस बार तो बहुत बुरी हार होने वाली है.
ऐसे नहीं लग रहा है. अभी तो है ना अर्ली ट्रेंड्स है. अभी फाइनल हो गए, लेकिन आगे आगे देखिए रिजल्ट विल चेंज.
केजरीवाल जी का भी ज्यादा अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है. 2000 वोट से तीन राउंड के बाद
थोड़ा मार्जिन तो कम रहेंगे, लेकिन जीतते तो आम आदमी
2000 नहीं 223 वोट है.
100%.
223 वोट है. 223 वोट से जीत रहे हैं, वो भी आप स्ट्रॉन्ग होल्ड बूथ्स.
223 वोट से.
वी शुड नॉट जंप द गन्स एज ऑफ नाउ. We have to wait and watch. अभी टाइम बाकी है. So आम आदमी पार्टी इज लीडिंग.
ऑलराइट, ओके.
बहुत ही कम मार्जिन है, तो कुछ मार्जिन नहीं.
वो तो पहले से पता है. इस बार थोड़ा मार्जिन थोड़ा हर एक का थोड़ा कम ही रहेगा. परवेश वर्मा तो हारने वाला है.
आपको मिला?
हमें नहीं चाहिए. हमें बीजेपी का नहीं चाहिए. हमें केजरीवाल जैसे नेता मुख्यमंत्री चाहिए. हमें क्या है?
तो वोट दिया था आपने, फिर ऐसी क्या हालत हो गई है?
दिल्ली दिल से केजरीवाल फिर से. आई लव केजरीवाल. बिजली बिल जीरो, केजरीवाल हीरो. बीजेपी देगा धोखा, केजरीवाल देगा मौका. घर घर झाड़ू हुआ, घर घर केजरीवाल.
अब लेट हो गया.
Good. No. Okay, that's a passionate Aam Aadmi Party supporter and an Aam Aadmi Party voter, and they're keeping their hopes up. But like Smita Prakash was saying, that they have got the update. Nalin Mehta was saying at Money Control that they've got the update that the booths in New Delhi constituency that have been counted so far have been the AAP strongholds, and that's where Arvind Kejriwal is leading by a slender 224 votes. The BJP stronghold booths could be opened now. Will there be a change in scenario, or will only Pravesh Verma consolidate that lead? We'll have to wait and watch, because that will be the giant killer. Pravesh Verma, if he defeats Arvind Kejriwal and Sandeep Dixit, emerges as a giant killer here. Key race alert. As of now, Mr. Kejriwal is leading from New Delhi. We'll see if he holds on to this lead, further strengthens it, and if there is a reversal in the Aam Aadmi's fortunes compared to what's happened in the first 2.5 hours of result day Delhi, battle for Delhi. Still round 4, that's where they are as far as New Delhi, out of 13 rounds, but slowly and gradually, somewhere we can see the shift in the mood and momentum. What the Congress is telling the AAP as it's taking jibes, what the AAP is actually saying at the AAP headquarters in Delhi, and what the mood is at the Delhi BJP office. These pictures speak for themselves. Satyendra Jain was leading earlier, now is trailing. Some key results. Milkipur. Quick update on Milkipur.
Coming from Milkipur.
Paswan is of the BJP is leading. It's a reserved constituency, and Samajwadi Party's Ajit Prasad. He's the son of the
24,000 votes.
Yeah,
that
so
the BJP
clear
is ahead. The grudge match.
Yeah.
The BJP winning that grudge match. Batenge to katenge. Mr. Yogi made that his leitmotif, and it appears that Ramnagari at least is responding to that. This is a big one, big dent really for the India bloc here, because the Samajwadi Party, the Congress, everyone came together, isn't it,
And
Smita
in
Prakash.
spite of reciting the Hanuman Chalisa on camera and all that, in spite of that, Samajwadi Party has not managed to make a dent. It matters to the people, you know, when the reporters were going there and saying that, "Aap kyun nahi Ayodhya Mandir ja rahe? Why aren't you all going to the Ayodhya Mandir?" These kind of things matter to people. You know, some of us city folk may not understand these deep sentiments which work in the minds of the voters. It does work. It does matter to them, and Samajwadi Party didn't do enough, obviously.
And they've been building up this whole business of how the Kumbh was, horribly managed, and how Hindus have been insulted.
Bodies are floating. The bodies of the dead are floating in the Kumbh. It is dirty. How could Jaya Bachchan say this? You know, considering that her husband is from formerly known as Allahabad, now Prayagraj. I mean, her in-laws are from that place. For her to say bodies were floating in the Ganga, I mean, if anybody goes to Kumbh, sees the management, of course an accident has happened, which is terrible, but bodies of the dead floating.
I was there yesterday, day before evening, and yesterday morning I did the dip and the snan at 5:15 a.m. At 5:15 a.m. the ghats on both sides of Sangam and all sides were full with people. And yes, it's crowded. There are terrace traffic, yes, but nobody is complaining. Everybody is finally finding their way to that place, and there is arrangement for everybody.
So how do you explain this Milkipur? And was there resonance amongst the pilgrims there of what the Samajwadi Party was saying? Was there fear
I
that
don't
they were going
think
to
they
be
are
trampled
bothered
again?
about who's saying what. It's about what they have decided they want to do. And that's exactly what's happening. You were saying it's a grudge match or not a grudge match. In Uttar Pradesh, on ground, there is a sentiment for Yogi Adityanath, which is very, very positive, because a small city and a temporary city, a city like Prayagraj and also a temporary place like Kumbh city, tent city, to be able to accommodate, facilitate nearly 1 crore devotees on a daily basis.
So this is the second
Is
time
not a small
after the
thing.
Lok Sabha elections, Anand,
So it's a big
that
story.
Mr. Yogi Adityanath has said what happened in the Lok Sabha was an aberration. It was because of other factors that I could not control. Would you go around with that? Would you say that
Don't you see that? Don't you see that manifest? Don't you see that manifest in Haryana, Maharashtra and in Delhi, that there were factors beyond their control that happened, that manifest?
Now it looks
After
like a
that,
blip.
after that, look at the bypolls which
It
happened.
looks like a blip. Yeah.
The bypolls in Uttar Pradesh, what happened there? The BJP came back so strongly and they won even
That's
in
what I'm saying. This
Samajwadi
is the
Party
second
strongholds.
election that Yogi Adityanath would have sort of come out and said, look, you allowed me a free hand, and what happened in the Lok Sabha beyond my control has been now reversed.
What did he speak about when he came to Delhi?
Yes.
He said there is a Yogi model of governance in Uttar Pradesh. Agar UP mein kar sakte hain, to Delhi mein kyun nahi? That's what he turned around and said, as he even further localized the
I'll
election.
tell you one thing though, 43% vote share up, they are not going to be wiped out. They're not gone. I think Arvind Kejriwal, anyway, he likes to talk and like do his thing. He'll maybe even he doesn't have to run Delhi now, so he can get away with more things, saying more things, and grow his national party. It may not be such a bad thing.
Chetan, what do you think he'll do if he's not going to be sitting in the Delhi Assembly?
No, but he can promote the party elsewhere.
No, if he doesn't lose,
For
that
the
is.
first time,
Even if he
He
wins.
doesn't lose.
for the first time, his, he will be tested. His maturity and resilience will be tested. He has never lost.
Yeah.
In his territory, he has never lost. This is the first time that if he loses, he will sit out his maturity. Nalin was talking about BJP acting like a startup, like a nimble startup which learns its lessons and, course correct.
So come back to the question that you raised, Anand. The question that you asked, is this a pro-BJP vote, anti-AAP vote? Is it somewhere in between? And secondly, just to ask you this, I want to make this point now. If Mr. Kejriwal also loses, his party looks as if it's been wiped out this time. If he also loses, is this the end of Mr. Clean Kejriwal as we know him from the projections that he makes?
We should not write off the AAP, Rahul. We should not write off the AAP. Neither should we write off Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. But Mr. Arvind Kejriwal and the AAP will have to recalibrate, and they will have to go back to becoming the AAP of 2013 and 2015, and they will have to go back and not be the AAP of 2025.
No, I'm not writing off. But the BJP might begin to think that this is actually a vote in favor of the fact that the BJP demanded accountability from the AAP on transparency, and the AAP has failed even in the eyes of the public. So those cases are legitimate. And will Mr. Kejriwal, therefore, there was a poster, a cheeky poster that was put outside Tihar. Aayenge to sirf Kejriwal. This was outside Tihar. Now, is this going to give the BJP perhaps
there is a stronger.
I think Rahul is making a valid point. I think it will give the BJP the confidence to say, look, people of Delhi have bought into what we said, that he's not holier than thou, he is corrupt, and therefore there will be more cases, I think.
No,
or at least
why
an
should
expedition of the cases against him.
why should this be linked
Because
to
there will be, the
electoral?
skeletons will come out when the
but
regime
Zaka,
changes,
why should
right?
this be linked to electoral victory or loss? In that case,
Because Mr. Kejriwal made it.
But
because
what
Mr.
happens?
Kejriwal
No,
made
but
it.
what
CAG
happens,
reports.
Zaka, is
I tell you,
that
there are at least 18 CAG reports. isn't it?
just one second. I just want to say, Mr. Rahul Gandhi is out on bail on charges of corruption since 2015. True. How many elections has he won for the BJP to prosecute him or not prosecute him?
So
a charge of corruption and a case which is in
80
Delhi, and he's out on bail for 10 years now.
It's getting closer now. It's 38-32.
32, 38. So this will keep flipping. Manjinder Sirsa has said after he's only tweeted after 7 rounds, I'm leading by 9,368 votes. That's what Manjinder
That's
Sirsa.
a big number in
Manjinder
a
Sirsa
closely
has
contested.
said. Yes, Griha. Yes, Griha.
Update on Manish Sisodia, Jangpura also,
Yeah, he's also back in
we
the
are
lead.
getting a lead, and that lead has gone up to 4,600 votes. This
Great.
is the 4th round, and we also getting an update of Delhi Can. This is becoming a neck and neck. Right now, the 4th round is on, and AAP has got a lead. Mr. Kadian has a lead by 392 votes. Another update on Shakur Basti. We do not know the number of votes that Satyendra Jain has a lead on, but he's back to leading. 4th round is happening over there also. Another update from Madipur, where we have an AAP candidate, Rakhi Birla, but she also has just a lead
No, it's
margin of
37-33.
46 votes.
46
now
votes.
it's 37-33.
So the leads are very slender as more and more rounds of counting and particular booths in certain constituencies are opening. The Aam Aadmi Party playing a quick catch up. So the BJP just too clear of the halfway mark. A magic reversal that's happened from 25 and 42, which was seen a short while ago, to 33 and 37. It's suddenly becoming neck and neck, and the Aam Aadmi Party clawing its way back. So as more and more rounds,
couple of
13 rounds will
seats.
happen.
Yeah,
So
couple
we
of
are into
seats
the
where
4th round overall.
AAP is
Overall.
coming back. So in Patel Nagar, for example, the AAP candidate is coming back. The AAP candidate is Parvesh Ratna. And then again in Rajinder Nagar, Durgesh Pathak of the Aam Aadmi Party clawing his way back. You also heard from Griha a moment ago, Mr. Sisodia is back in the lead. So 37-33 is where it is right now. In Shakur Basti again, Mr. Jain was trailing. He's come back into the lead. In the neighboring constituency of Madipur, Rakhi Birla, the former speaker, she was trailing about 10 minutes ago. She's now back again in the lead. And of course, you go back to Old Delhi constituencies, AAP is leading in Chandni Chowk, it is leading in Balimaran, it is leading in Matia Mahal, it is leading in Karol Bagh, it is leading in Sadar Bazaar. So I think there's some, back and forth that is going. Now it's 38-32. You're going to see a lot of this. You're going to see a lot of this.
If I make a
Well,
point here,
BL
that's what
Santosh
I
has
was
tweeted saying, as of now, effect of sheesh mahal and sense of betrayal clearly visible all
That's what I
over.
was saying. See, this is the point that I'm making. This will, forget about, I'm not talking about the legal system and all of that. I'm talking about the public, BJP interface with the public and their campaign. They will say that, no, these guys need to be brought to account. The people of Delhi have given us the mandate to ensure that the people who looted Delhi are punished. I'm not saying that that will have an influence on the legal system and the way it works, but it gives the BJP that ammunition it needs to take the moral high ground on corruption in Delhi. But one second, I just want to make a point, Anand, and let's just focus on these numbers. Look, fundamentally, most of the polls gave this 28 to 42.
Yeah.
If you remember. There were only a few that went sort of beyond that. But it's 28-42. That range is pretty much holding forth here, number one.
Yes,
number
and the
two,
BJP will back to consolidating. So
that's
it will slowly come back.
As I
and-
said,
yeah.
even if the AAP gets 42% of the vote, that means less than 1.5, just about, there are a significant number of voters who have voted for the AAP. So this narrow business will continue, but the BJP will eventually triumph because it will have that 6 or 7% vote share advantage. If it falls to 2%, then all bets are off.
No, it's again 39-31. See,
well,
what
there you
happens is, if the BJP is getting about 48% vote share,
Yes.
47-48% vote share,
Then
then the seat share will by default go up.
A
Seat share
6%
will go
margin
up.
means that it will be a clear.
And I'll tell you, these numbers will consolidate, but the parties have their own internal calculations as booths are being opened, and they will be doing their calculations. That's why I said between 9:30, 10, you'd start seeing whispers, murmurs, conversations, body language. And you see where the body language is. Nobody has jumped the gun. They've all waited 2.5 hours before they have started saying their piece. Now, again, the BJP closer to 40 now, 39, 31 is the
so
story.
I just said Rakhi Birla was leading, now she's trailing.
Trailing, because she was leading only by 46 votes when Griha gave us the update.
So now she's trailing. Also in the neighbouring constituency of Mangolpuri, the BJP candidate there is leading. The flip has again happened in Sultanpur Majra. Now the BJP candidate is leading again there. So you will see a lot of this up until noon at least, I think.
Yeah, this is the contrast. No, Zaka, in 2020, there were no flips.
Yeah, correct.
The AAP started leading and they continued to lead and continued to build on the lead.
Correct.
There was no other flip ki idhar ho raha hai, idhar ho raha hai. These tight contests also show that it's not easy to buck anti-incumbency. And you may give whatever doles you want. You have to stand up on governance. Unless you are seen as someone who's standing up on governance and you have a clean image yourself, you will not be above suspicion and above reprimand. Abhijit.
Yeah, that, AAP was like a unicorn, the magical figure with one horn. Now, and it was believed that they are above corruption, they are sort of incorruptible, etc. Now that horn has broken, because of the corruption allegations, because of the Shishmal allegations, and it's like any other horse or a quadruped.
If you were the Congress, what is more important to you? BJP loses or AAP loses?
Absolutely AAP. We had a senior
AAP.
Congress leader, Nalin is here in the studios, who came to our studios and he said, for us, defeating the AAP is more important because they've taken away our vote bank.
And that 7% vote share that the Congress has, which is a 4% bump, is exactly what AAP and BJP difference is right now.
Yeah.
So if they had come together, it could have been a very easy AAP victory. It looks like they're already 30.
So let's just crunch some numbers. Let's crunch the numbers. The total number of voters that have voted this election, remember, are lower than what they did in the previous election, right? I'm just trying to get that number. Somehow the internet is flaky on me. But the point is that now, with 5 rounds counted out of 15, if the margins are 3,000, 4,000, those are significant margins. Because we're only looking at about, possibly around that much, So even a 5,000 to 10,000 margin is very significant. To catch up in that, in a tight sort of contest, difficult.
So look at the lower income group. We were talking about this. Half of Delhi is low income, 32 out of 70 seats. BJP at 17, AAP at 15. But like I keep saying all the time, look at the figure next to it. 14 out of this. So BJP had only 3 out of these seats in 2020. They've got 14 pickups. So 17 lower income group seats BJP is leading in and AAP is leading in 15. I just want to quickly also go through the women one. High women turnout, that's 41 seats. Out of that, again, the AAP I think is leading there. The AAP is leading in 22 and the BJP in 19. But remember for the BJP, I think it's a flip again. It's the BJP that's leading in 22 and the AAP in 19. So even in the women's seats, the AAP seems to have lost quite a bit.
So can we look at Kalkaji once? I just want to annotate that point. Let's have a look at Kalkaji and can we also get the margins there? Kalkaji, who's leading right now?
Right now, Mr. Biduri is still leading. Last time we checked with Griha, we can go back to
only
Griha.
1
I think it was about 1,100 votes.
So what you had here was 57 plus 49. Can you just do the math on that? That's roughly 1,08,000-9,000 votes.
Yeah,
those are the
1 lakh votes everywhere is going to matter so much.
No, so
and the
no,
women voters got divided in this constituency.
So just 1 second. 57,000 and 49,000 were male and female voters. Just do the maths. That's about 1,10,000. 1,06,000 total number of votes polled. Now, if you have a lead of 3,000 in that, that is significant. 3% lead, that means it's going to be difficult to erode that lead.
So considering only half the votes are counted, or like 30,000 votes are counted, 3,000 lead is a big lead.
So which means Mr. Biduri is kind of through, right?
He could be through. Because it's looking difficult for Atishi. Let's put it that way. It's looking difficult for Atishi. He'll need some sort of now momentum shift to happen, which no one has seen. Now,
so third woman chief minister bites the dust then in...
No, hang on. Just wait. Just hold your horses.
She's not going to come back as chief minister
only 5
anyway,
rounds, to be fair to her. And Nalin was saying that right now the booths that are being counted are supposedly from AAP-dominated polling areas. So, well,
Couple of other things that what has happened in the New Delhi constituency is a lot of it is government people, right? Many of them are not the same voters as they were 5 years ago.
Oh,
There's been a
yes.
change over there. So the demographic of the New Delhi constituency, which is a small constituency of about 1 lakh people, that has changed significantly in the last 5 years. That's one major reason also why Kejriwal is
it's a very good point.
Oh, there's one more point on this I want to make, is that what you're saying is about the change in demographics. There were the bastis in that area. Many of them got pakka housing. So when they got pakka housing, they moved out of the New Delhi constituency. So somewhere a flip side is that you give them pakka housing, they move out of there. So though they might vote for you, for your party, they're voting from another constituency and not in that area.
Some of the pakka houses there, the slums that were regularized in Gold Market, for example, was done during Sheila Dikshit's time. And Sandeep has some residual goodwill. So even if he takes away 10,000 votes in a constituency of 1 lakh, that's 10% of the vote that he's taking away.
Sanjay Raut has already
number.
said. Sanjay Raut has already said blame the Congress for it.
No, whether they blame the Congress. See, Sanjay Raut was sitting with Rahul Gandhi yesterday. And today he's blamed the Congress for it.
Blame the AAP for not taking support of the Congress.
Blame the AAP for not... See, but look at this. Just one second. I'm just saying, if these numbers say at 37 and 39, you think the Congress has a chance even in Delhi or to even seize the narrative? Arvind Kejriwal is a master. He dethroned the Congress by playing opposition. He dethroned the Congress. Now,
I am waiting
with
for
30
Rahul Gandhi
seats,
to come out
28,
and
30
blame
seats,
whom?
he'll still be strong in Delhi. He will go back to doing what he did as an activist and he will still steal a march from the Congress
now he's
party.
trailing. Now Mr. Kejriwal is trailing. Mr.
If
Parmesh
Kejriwal
Verma is
loses,
leading.
if Kejriwal loses and he is not in the Delhi Vidhan Sabha, he's not inside the secretariat, then the AAP has a problem.
We can check with Griha what the numbers are.
5 rounds.
He'll become a Rajya
No.
Hello,
From
5
playing
rounds
the
of
politics
counting.
on ground, being the leader of the people, masses going
5
back to being
rounds
an actor.
of counting, the man who wore the crown for the AAP for all these years, if he is in the battle of his life, I'm not calling it, the battle, if he's in the trenches right now, can't put his head over the parapet, you've got a problem.
He's trailing by 225 votes and I think now the BJP booths will start getting being counted. So it's actually the AAP booths have been counted already. Nalin and then Griha. Yeah.
I want to come back to the point that Zaka was making. You know, we had a senior Congress leader we spoke to who came to our office as well. Congress is right now at 6.79% vote share, which is about 2.5% more than what they had last time. If you see Sandeep Dikshit's campaign, you see some of the other Delhi unit congressmen who fought this campaign, they were basically fighting. Their thing was BJP जीतेगी तो हमारी राजनीति बचेगी अगली बार. So they have almost worked like the B team of the BJP without necessarily saying so. Which is very much different from how the central leadership has approached it. So if BJP wins, there will be many people in Congress who will be celebrating.
Who will be celebrating? But I'm just saying with 30 seats, 27 to 30 seats as of now, the Arvind Kejriwal will say that, Lord, let me go back to doing what I did best. Let me become the voice of be an activist and try and be an activist all across on ground and continue. Yeah, the money, the funds, all of that won't be there. But if Arvind, I'm just saying to rebrand their politics and go back. But for that, he needs to win. He needs to win his seat. If he doesn't win, he will lose.
Very nervous man.
Yeah, because otherwise it's straight to Punjab. Bye Delhi. I am here, Punjab. Here I come.
Bhardwaj and Raghav Chadda are going to be very nervous today.
Yes. I want to add 2 more points about the Congress. See, it's not about the 6-7% they've got now. Their thing was the voter who is with the AAP or with the Congress is basically the same voter.
Yeah, they should come
AAP
back to us.
basically took away the Congress voters as the anti-BJP voter.
Yes.
It has not come back to Congress because they don't feel Congress has a chance to win. But if Congress starts, if AAP loses, then that voter has a better chance of coming to Congress saying, let's give these guys a chance. So that's one. B, I agree with Smita, the Congress is more gung-ho what will happen in Punjab than what will happen in Delhi as a result of the Delhi
I
election.
want to make a point here. Don't write off the BJP in Punjab either. And I just want to also make a small other point, which is important. The BJP is caught up against a non-Congress party. This is not something the BJP is very good at. The conversion rates against non-Congress parties or third parties or whatever you want to call them is not very good. So the BJP winning this is a huge boost for its prospects.
I think that changes after Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh, except for Bengal and also Tamil Nadu, where the BJP has not been able to do well, and Kerala. 3 states will be there, but most of the other places, the BJP now can
Odisha.
claim to be able to beat Odisha. So beat a non-Congress party.
So this cements, and in Jammu, it is
Yeah.
up against the Congress, where knocked the stuffings out
Yeah,
of the
not the
Congress.
stuffing. Yes, Griha. Just sorry. Yes, Griha. Coming back.
Yes, so we've already mentioned how Arvind Kejriwal is trailing. 6th round of counting that has happened, 13 only to happen in New Delhi. So that's how neck and neck this is going to be, because the margin of votes is really reducing. We also have an update on Somnath Bharti, where the 4th round of counting is happening, 2100 votes, where he is in fact trailing. And Atishi, you were asking, it's the 4th round of counting, 2800 votes that she also is trailing on. Another update that we can get you from Deoli, 8th round of counting there, Zaka and Anand. Aam Aadmi Party's candidate Prem Chauhan is leading by 20,000. So that's some
What
sliver
about
of hope for Aam Aadmi
Greater
Party.
Kailash, Saurabh
Greater
Bhardwaj?
Kailash, okay, there was another upset there. Saurabh Bhardwaj, in fact, has been trailing by over 4,400 votes, and this is the
4,400
5th round of counting that is happening
that's
in
a
GK.
big setback there, because he's seen to be a clean, good leader, providing good governance. Mustafabad BJP candidate leading by 36,000 votes. Mustafabad BJP candidate leading by 36,000 votes. Let's go across.
Aap would be at 35.
Yeah, at 35.
So
Now,
it's the big guys.
Yeah,
It's the big guys
It's the
that are
big,
letting the
it's the big
BJP
guys who are
up
collapsing.
now.
Yes, who are collapsing now.
30, but
Okay,
the big guys, all the
Rahul,
5 are
Chetan,
trailing.
Zaka to
They
everyone.
somehow
We've
make
got
it.
Kamaljeet Sehrawat, BJP MP, joining us. Kamaljeet Sehrawat ji, namaste. What's your estimate? अभी तो फिलहाल बीजेपी सरकार बनाती हुई लग रही है, but ये 40 का आंकड़ा और ज़्यादा, will it get consolidated? And some of the biggest faces of the Aam Aadmi Party are trailing currently.
कल भी जब बार बार मीडिया में बात हो रही थी, तो आम आदमी पार्टी के बड़े नेता कह रहे थे ये एग्जिट पोल है, एग्जैक्ट पोल नहीं है। मैंने कल ही कहा था, बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं। ये सिर्फ डायरेक्शन शो कर रहा है कि बीजेपी लीड पर जा रही है, लेकिन मुझे पता था कि वोट परसेंटेज और सीट्स दोनों ज्यादा आएंगी। इसका कारण है पिछले 8 महीने से ये जो आज रिजल्ट आया है, इसकी फाउंडेशन रखी गई थी। आप 8 महीने पहले जाइए, गर्मी पीक पर थी, और जब गर्मी पीक पर थी उस समय दिल्ली के अच्छे से अच्छे इलाके के अंदर पानी की कमी थी, लोग गंदा पानी पा रहे थे, पानी नहीं मिल रहा था। फिर आया बारिश का मौसम, जब बारिश का मौसम आया, मानसून ने थोड़ी मेहरबानी करी, तो दिल्ली एक ऐसी वाटर लॉगिंग की सिटी बन गई जिसमें 60 लोगों की जान करंट लगने से चली गई। हमारे 3 एस्पिरेंट जो यूपीएससी के थे, वो राजेंद्र नगर के अंदर नाला टूटने से मौत के काल में चले जाते हैं। फिर आया नवंबर दिसंबर, उसमें पर्यावरण में इतना पॉल्यूशन था जिसकी हालात खराब थी। ग्रेड 3 और ग्रेड 4 मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम लागू रहा। फिर बीच में आई छठ, तो यमुना की जो हालत थी, अमोनिया की जो हालत थी, वो दिल्ली के लोगों ने देखी। तो जो आज का रिजल्ट है वो स्वाभाविक रिजल्ट है पिछले 8 महीने से आने वाली जो सीरीज है उनका, और दिल्ली के अंदर ये होना ही था जो आज का रिजल्ट है, और ये अभी और बढ़ेगा, मैं इस बात के लिए निश्चित हूँ।
जी, आपका स्क्रीन, हाँ, आपका कुछ कॉल आया तो आपका स्क्रीन घूम गया था। कमलजीत जी, मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूँ, आपका अनुमान क्या है? क्या 40 होगा, क्या इससे ज़्यादा, इससे बेहतर होगा? और क्या अरविंद केजरीवाल, आतिशी, मनीष सिसोदिया अपनी सीटें बचा पाएंगे? मान लीजिए अभी तो अरविंद केजरीवाल ट्रेल कर रहे हैं 225 वोट से, प्रवेश वर्मा काफ़ी कॉन्फिडेंट है, मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूँ।
देखिए, दिल्ली में डेवलपमेंट ना करना आम आदमी पार्टी की एक बहुत बड़ी गलती रही, लेकिन उससे भी बड़ी गलती जिसे जनता माफ नहीं कर पाई, वो थी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की स्कीम्स को दिल्ली में लागू ना होने देना। जैसे कि आयुष्मान कार्ड 5 लाख हर स्टेट ने एक्सेप्ट किया।
जी,
हेलो
जी,
Are you getting
जी,
me?
यस, वी कैन हियर यू। जी।
ओके, तो सबसे पहली बात रही कि आयुष्मान भारत दिल्ली में लागू नहीं हुआ। सेकंड, राशन कार्ड, एक गरीब आदमी को राशन अगर प्रधानमंत्री जी दे रहे हैं, 90,000 राशन कार्ड का कोटा दिल्ली में अवेलेबल था, लेकिन नहीं बनाया। बुजुर्गों की, सीनियर सिटीजन की पेंशन मिल रही थी, नहीं मिल रही थी। तो अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने दिल्ली को 2 तरफा मार दी, खुद कुछ किया नहीं, सेंटर को करने नहीं दिया। फिर तीसरी बात जो दिल्ली की जनता बर्दाश्त नहीं कर पाई वो था निगम आने के बाद कूड़े की सफाई करने वाला व्यक्ति आज कूड़े के ढेर के ऊपर पूरी दिल्ली को बिठा दिया। तो दिल्ली की जनता ने जिस तरफ भी देखा खुद को ठगा हुआ महसूस किया। फिर आ गई ईमानदार वाली बात, शीश महल 42 करोड़ का। मेरा आज सवाल है क्या जरूरत थी अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को वियतनाम का पत्थर लगाने की या इतना महंगा घर बनाने की? तो चारों प्लेटफॉर्म जो मैंने आपको बताए ये अपना अपना शेयर लेकर आम आदमी पार्टी के खिलाफ गए। गलती पर गलती हुई, सरकारों को काम करना चाहिए लेकिन ये सरकार लड़ती रही। दिल्ली की जनता के लिए कोई भी एक विजन उनका नजर नहीं आया, इसीलिए आज का जो रिजल्ट है ये अभी और बढ़ने वाला है और 2/3 की मेजोरिटी मुझे लगता है दिल्ली में बीजेपी को
तो आप कॉन्फिडेंट है कि 50 का भी आंकड़ा पार करेगा? क्योंकि फिलहाल तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि ये काफी कांटे की टक्कर हो सकती है। 10 सीट का ही डिफरेंस है रुझानों में, 40 और 30। 40 पर आप हैं, 30 पर 40 पर बीजेपी है और 30 पर आप।
मानना है कि 36 के बाद सभी आंकड़े बराबर हैं, क्योंकि एक बार जब सरकार बन जाती है तो जनता का मैंडेट क्लियर होता है। मैं नंबर पर नहीं जाऊंगी लेकिन मैं ये कह रही हूं कि दिल्ली में भारतीय जनता पार्टी का मुख्यमंत्री दिल्ली की जनता जनार्दन चाहती है और इसी के लिए उन्होंने वोट किया है। और ये जो आंकड़े हैं ये आपको शाम तक क्लियर हो जाएंगे, लेकिन इतना तो हम समझ चुके हैं कि आम आदमी पार्टी की हर बात को जनता ने नकारा है।
कमलजीत जी, स्मिता प्रकाश जी एएनआई के हमारे साथ हैं स्टूडियो में, वो पूछ रही हैं आपने दिल्ली में बीजेपी का मुख्यमंत्री कहा तो मुख्यमंत्री कौन होगा?
देखिए, मुख्यमंत्री भारतीय जनता पार्टी का हर कार्यकर्ता अपने आप में बहुत बड़ी मेहनत से साथ यहाँ पर खड़ा है। पार्टी की जो वर्किंग फोर्स है वो कोई भी हो सकती है। ये हमारी जो कल को विधायक बनेंगे वो बैठकर शीर्ष नेतृत्व से तय करेंगे, बट फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा है। कोई भी व्यक्ति होगा, हर कार्यकर्ता का डेडिकेशन, अकाउंटेबिलिटी का अपने क्षेत्र में बीजेपी के वर्कर होने के नाते नजर आएगी। मैं सांसद हूं तो मेरी नजर आएगी, मेरा बूथ अध्यक्ष है तो उसकी नजर आएगी। तो हम भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सभी लोग खड़े हैं जनता के साथ।
कमलजीत जी, मैं राहुल शिवशंकर बोल रहा हूं, आपसे एक छोटा सवाल पूछना था। केजरीवाल आस लगाए बैठे थे कि विमेन वोटर्स उनके साथ हैं और इसीलिए उनको 60 सीटें मिलेंगी, मगर जो आंकड़े आ रहे हैं they are suggesting that women voters moved away from AAP towards BJP. Why did this happen in your opinion?
राहुल जी, इसमें देखिए, जब राशन कार्ड नहीं बना दिल्ली में, कोटा था, तो दिल्ली की महिलाओं को तकलीफ हुई। जब दिल्ली की महिलाओं ने घर से बाहर निकलकर पानी के टैंकर के लिए एक एक बाल्टी के लिए जंग लड़ी है, तो उन्हें अरविंद केजरीवाल की सच्चाई पता चली। फिर जब उन्हें पता चला कि हमें आयुष्मान नहीं मिल रहा है, जो कि पूरे भारत में है, दीनदयाल उपाध्याय हॉस्पिटल मेरी कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी का, मैं राहुल जी आपको ना पैरों के नीचे की जमीन निकल जाएगी जब मैं आपको बताऊंगी कि प्रेगनेंसी के बाद बेबी को हाथ में देकर बाहर भेज दिया जाता है और एक बेड के ऊपर 5-5 महिलाएं। और ये मैं नहीं कह रही, मैंने भी इतनी बुरी सिचुएशन नहीं सोची थी, लेकिन जब मैं ग्राउंड पर गई, मुझे हाथ खड़े होकर दिल्ली की मेरी बहनों ने बताया, तो उनको हर तरह से ठगा गया। राशन कार्ड, आयुष्मान, हॉस्पिटल की हालत, और उससे भी बड़ी बात मैं कह
रवि जी ठगा गया। आप जवाब दीजिए मिस्टर रावत को।
आज ये बता सकती हैं, ये कह रही हैं, क्योंकि आज जो आंकड़े आ रहे हैं, जो नंबर आ रहे हैं, वो ये दिखा रहे हैं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी आगे चल रही है। पर आप एक बात ये बताएं, भाजपा की आप कार्यकर्ता हैं, कि जो पिछले आप कह रही हैं कि 8 महीने में ही सब कुछ हो गया, इसके पहले सब कुछ राम राज्य चल रहा था क्या दिल्ली के अंदर 10.25 साल तक, या 8 महीने के अंदर ही पूरा दिल्ली के अंदर सारी बर्बादी आ गई? दिल्ली में पोल्यूशन आ गया, दिल्ली में पानी खराब हो गया, दिल्ली के अस्पताल खराब हो गए। ये आप ये बताइए कि जो बिजली के रेट,
अच्छा रवि जी उनको बोलने दीजिए,
फ्री दे रहे हैं आम आदमी पार्टी की तरफ से, पानी फ्री दे रहे हैं, महिलाओं को बस यात्रा फ्री दे रहे हैं, और जिस आयुष्मान भारत की बात आप करती हैं, जिसमें कि 75 लाख लोगों को एक ही मोबाइल नंबर पर रजिस्टर कर दिया गया, उसके बजाय अरविंद केजरीवाल संजीवनी स्कीम ला रहे हैं, जो 60 साल से ऊपर किसी भी अस्पताल
रहे हैं। एक मिनट कमल जी,
एक मिनट रवि श्रीवास्तव जी प्लीज हील, रवि जी प्लीज हील। एक बात, संजीवनी स्कीम ला रहे हैं, लाए नहीं अभी तक, हुआ नहीं है। अच्छा, 10-10.5 साल में नहीं किया उन्होंने। जी कमल जी।
रवि जी, आप दिल्ली के निवासी हैं, मेरी बात को दिल पर हाथ रखकर समझिएगा। 2010 में दिल्ली में कॉमनवेल्थ गेम हुआ, दिल्ली को बहुत सुंदर सजाया गया क्योंकि एक बहुत बड़ा इवेंट था। कोई भी चीजें अगर बनती हैं तो वो 7, 8, 9 साल तक कैरी करती हैं। इसलिए 2010 की जो दिल्ली थी वो तकरीबन 18, 19, 20 तक कैरी हुई। उसके बाद कोविड में आपकी जो लापरवाही रही, रवि जी मान जाइए, आप कहीं नहीं थे। कोविड की वैक्सीन प्रधानमंत्री जी ने दी, फिर भी लोग आपको ले लेते हाथों हाथ, कोई दिक्कत नहीं थी। कोविड को प्रधानमंत्री जी की जिम्मेवारी मान सकते थे। आयुष्मान आप कह रहे हो प्रधानमंत्री जी ने 2017 में बताया और ला दी। आप तो आज संजीवनी का आप ही के गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल कह रहे हैं कि कहीं पे भी कोई ड्राफ्ट नहीं बना था संजीवनी के लिए, महिला सम्मान के लिए। रवि जी आप गवर्नमेंट का एक पार्ट रहे हैं, किसी भी स्कीम को लाने के लिए उसकी ड्राफ्टिंग होती है, उसकी प्लानिंग होती है, बजट एलोकेशन होता है। तो अगर आपने ये काम पिछले 10 साल में किए होते तो जनता आप पर विश्वास करती। रवि जी क्या दिल्ली की जनता की ये दिक्कत मतलब उन्होंने कोई आपको समस्या कर दी थी कि उनके घरों के आगे दिल्ली सीवर का जो दिल्ली जल बोर्ड का पानी बह रहा था? आप ये बताइए, उनके बच्चे अपने घरों के एड्रेस नहीं बता पा रहे थे। मेरी तो यंग जनरेशन से बात हुई, मैंने उनसे पूछा और वो बिल्कुल इस बात को कह रहे थे कि हमें, क्योंकि मेरा एरिया जिस तरह से मैं अपने एरिया को समझती हूँ, तो वो कह रहे कि हम एड्रेस नहीं बता पा रहे हैं मैम, हमें दूसरा एड्रेस बताना पड़ता है, हमें द्वारका में रहते हैं, बताना पड़ता है। ये जो आपने आइडेंटिटी भी छीन ली ना दिल्ली वासियों की। दिल्ली का मतलब एक ऐसा शहर जहां कम से कम रोड, सीवर, पानी, बिजली, इसकी तो दिक्कत नहीं होनी चाहिए थी।
पर कमल
आप ये
जी
बताइए, मेरा सीधा आपसे सवाल, एक सेकंड
जी,
90,000 राशन कार्ड दिल्ली का कोटा ड्यू था, पेंडिंग था, क्यों नहीं बनाया आपने?
अच्छा लेकिन
सर,
अच्छा
बोलिए।
ये सारे प्रश्न आप पूछ रही हैं, मैं आनंद
देखिए,
बोल रहा हूँ।
आपके-
मैं बस आपसे ये जानना चाहता हूँ, अगर इतना ही आम आदमी पार्टी के खिलाफ, अच्छा रवि जी एक मिनट, एक मिनट, मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि अगर इतना ही अगर आम आदमी पार्टी के खिलाफ ये होता तो अरविंद केजरीवाल और आम आदमी पार्टी को अभी 30 सीटें क्यों मिल रही हैं? क्यों उन्हें 43% वोट शेयर मिल रहा है? उनका तो वही हाल होना चाहिए था जो 2020 में बीजेपी का हुआ या 2015 में बीजेपी और कांग्रेस दोनों का हुआ।
देखिए दिल्ली में मैंने आपको कहा कि जो एक हालात है, इसमें 36 के बाद सभी नंबर बराबर है। मैंने पहली बात कही, हम वो 62 से कहां आ रहे हैं और हम 8 से कहां पर जा रहे हैं। और जो बात है, अभी इन्होंने भी झूठ बोलने में कसर नहीं छोड़ी थी, तो जनता की में कुछ में कंफ्यूजन जरूर रह गया होगा, क्योंकि हमारा मैनिफेस्टो जब आया तब तक ये झूठ का इतना परपंच फैला चुके थे। लेकिन मैं फिर भी ये कहूंगी कि ये जो आंकड़ा दिल्ली ने देखा है, ये जो मैंडेट दिल्ली को आ रहा है, ये आम आदमी पार्टी की 10 साल की सरकार दिल्ली में और प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की 10 साल केंद्र में, दोनों के कंपैरिजन का है।
बोलिए,
सवाल पूछने
नहीं
हाँ,
रखी है।
आप एक बात का जवाब दीजिए, एक बात का जवाब
दिल्ली
दीजिए
के-
मुझे, क्या माननीय प्रधानमंत्री अगर भाजपा की सरकार दिल्ली में बनती है तो जो जिस तरीके का मुफ्त बिजली और मुफ्त पानी या सब्सिडाइज कहिए उसको, या बस यात्रा, जो सुविधाएं आम आदमी पार्टी दे रही है अभी, उन सबको चालू रखेगी?
प्रधानमंत्री जी और
नहीं
हम
कह
सब
चुके हैं, वो
कर्नाटक
कह चुके हैं, हम
जनता को
वो
बता चुके
सोशल
हैं।
मैनिफेस्टो में है सर, मैनिफेस्टो
दिल्ली की जनता
अभी
को
अभी
बता
बिजूड़ी
चुके
साहब
हैं।
कह के
और
गए
दूसरी
हैं
बात,
कि हम इन
रवि जी,
सबको
मेरा
धीरे
आपसे
धीरे
सवाल
खत्म
है,
करेंगे।
तीसरी बात कि
प्रधानमंत्री का
मैनिफेस्टो में भी वही
प्रयत्न
सूचना
रहेगा
दी
कि
जो
इन्हें
पहली
धीरे धीरे
कमेंट्स
खत्म
ली
किया
थी।
जाए।
जी
अभी कह गए हैं, आपके जो विधूड़ी साहब है वो खुद अभी कह गए हैं कि धीरे धीरे ये जो सुविधाएं दी गई है इनको प्रधानमंत्री खत्म करने
उन्होंने
का
सुविधाएं
प्रयास
खत्म
करेंगे।
नहीं कहा, उन्होंने कहा रेवड़ियां खत्म होंगी सर।
हाँ।
आप भी ना, आप भी अगर आप किसी को कोट कर रहे हैं तो रिस्पॉन्सिबली कोट करें। मैं कहूंगा आप पूछिए प्रश्न,
तो
पर उन्होंने ये नहीं कहा कि सुविधाएं समाप्त होंगी। उन्होंने ये कहा कि जो रेवड़ियां हैं ये पत्थर के नीचे हाथ होता है तो झटके से नहीं खींचा जा सकता, आराम आराम से हम उसको ठीक करेंगे और गवर्नेंस को ठीक करेंगे। आप चाहे जितनी रेवड़ियां बांटे, आज जो नेगेटिव आम आदमी पार्टी, आप ये मानिए कि ये केजरी मॉडल ऑफ गवर्नेंस का रिजेक्शन है, आप ये भी मानिए जब आप ये बात करते हैं रवि
आनंद जी, मैं
अच्छा,
रिजेक्शन नहीं कहूंगा।
नहीं,
कुछ लोगों को
देखिए किसी को जब कोई व्यक्ति यहाँ मौजूद नहीं है उनको गलत कोट करना ठीक नहीं है सर, वो गैर जिम्मेदाराना है। उनको गलत मत कोट कीजिए,
बजट दिया है,
उनको गलत नहीं, उनको गलत। रमेश बिदुरी ने ये भी कहा कि जो अब तक मिल रहा है वो मिलता रहेगा, उसके ऊपर हम गवर्नेंस देंगे। वो तो आपने नहीं बोला, वो आपने क्यों नहीं बोला रवि जी? आपको वो बोलना चाहिए ना।
Now it's come to this that
let's not
the
misquote people.
surplus is being frittered and there's pressure even on the surplus. And in fact, one of the commissions that looks at finance of the Delhi government itself red flagged when Mr. Kejriwal announced the 2,100 rupee scheme for women, said that this time this will erode this buffer that Delhi has. And that is because Mr. Kejriwal is not wanting to take the centre's help. Had he taken Ayushman Bharat from the centre, the ration scheme, etc., he wouldn't have to pay from the surplus of Delhi. That's the problem.
सर 72,000 करोड़ का जो सरप्लस था सर, उस सरप्लस को आपने डेफिसिट की तरफ लेके आए, तो आपने कैसे आपके मॉडल ऑफ गवर्नेंस को आपने फायदा पहुंचाया? दूसरी बात, आप कोई सैलरी नहीं दे रहे हैं. दिल्ली स्टेट गवर्नमेंट डजंट पे द सैलरीज. पुलिस की सैलरी, सरकारी ब्यूरोक्रेट्स की सैलरी सब सेंटर देती है. तो आपने कौन सा रेवेन्यू जनरेट किया? और सर सीएनएजी रिपोर्ट से मेट्रो से 250 करोड़ रुपए जनरेट हुआ और कोई रेवेन्यू जनरेशन नहीं हुआ. नहीं, और कोई रेवेन्यू जनरेशन नहीं हुआ. सर, आपका मॉडल ऑफ गवर्नेंस इज नॉट जनरेटिंग रेवेन्यू. यू गॉट टू जनरेट रेवेन्यू टू बी एबल टू स्पेंड.
The first thing that is going to happen,
and spending, how is that generating revenue?
The first thing that is going to happen is that 11 CNAG reports will be tabled in the House, and we will then find out what really is the problem in Delhi financially.
Right. Kamalji ji, thank you. Ajay Alok of the BJP is with us. Yes, Rahul.
One small comment I want to make, because there's another important election in Milkipur that has happened, and a colleague and a dear friend Sachin Singh has just tweeted, and he says it's literally 80-20 in Uttar Pradesh. 80-20. Out of the 10 assemblies, 8 the BJP has won, which means that Yogi really has found his mojo. He has been able to tell everybody that, look, what happened in Lok Sabha was not quite the way.
I think across pan Bharat, everybody has realized 1, 2, 3 things. I think most importantly, the BJP must have realized that arrogance does not work, overconfidence does not work, and the voter appreciates humility. You go to the voter, talk to the voter will trust you. You take the voter for granted, the voter will reject you. And I think Mr. Kejriwal is also realizing that, and and the Aam Aadmi Party is also realizing that.
Sandeep Dixit seems to have conceded.
Yeah. Sandeep Dixit seems to have conceded in favor of whom? Has he said that?
He says the BJP is forming the government. We raised the issues, but I think people thought that we are not going to form the government. We accept the decision of the people. So, well, considering that it's 0 for the Congress right now.
No, 42-28 now. 42-28 now. Ajay Alok ji, if good morning, it seems good news. तो दौलत राम की चाट और जलेबी अगर बीजेपी ऑफिस में बटेगी, थोड़ा आप शायद CNN News 18 की तरफ भी भेजेंगे, क्योंकि हमने राहुल शिवशंकर से वादा लिया है कि अगर बीजेपी सरकार बनाती है तो यहाँ दिल्ली में दौलत राम की चाट वो जरूर खाएंगे. अपना डाइट रूटीन तोड़ेंगे.
राहुल जी बिल्कुल खाएंगे, राहुल जी भी बिल्कुल खाएंगे और आनंद जी भी बिल्कुल खाएंगे. बट लेट मी टेल यू वन थिंग, दिस इज द बिगिनिंग ऑफ सुनामी.
आपको तो पक्का खिलाएंगे.
Beginning of tsunami.
And it will crystallize.
He says beginning of tsunami.
हाँ. Why do you say beginning of tsunami, Ajay ji? You believe these numbers will further consolidate in favor of the BJP?
Because now, it's an upgoing trend, and we have seen, and you have covered so many elections, Rahul, and when the upgoing trend is there, it always keeps on moving up and up and up. So at the end, right now, 5th or 6th round of counting is over, and we are consolidating. The leads are extending. In some areas, we are leading by more than 17,000, 18,000 votes. And more or less is going to figure out, and we are going to cross the 50 mark. Now let me tell you one thing. This is a stamp of Prime Minister's credibility, because this election turned upside down after 2nd of February Prime Minister's rally, when he said that I will change the face of Delhi in the next 3 years. And mark my words, we have given this in our Sankalp Patra, that the whole Yamuna of 56 kilometers will be changed, the riverfront will be there. And this will add to 30,000 crores economy plus, just with Yamuna. With what Yamuna we have looted. They have looted 7,000 crores. We are going to take 30,000 crores from that Yamuna after 3 years. And this is going to change the face of Delhi.
He said Viksit Bharat ki Viksit Delhi.
And it's going to be one of the international destinations.
Yes, he said Viksit Bharat, Viksit Delhi.
What Kejriwal used to say,
Ajay ji, just give me Anand
Bolro. I'm going to make it
just 30
Paris,
seconds.
we are going to make it a reality.
We are getting pictures of the war room, BJP war room, Virendra Sachdeva, Bajayant Panda, everybody sitting and they're all applauding. Let's listen in. I think somewhere the war room has celebrated a BJP victory. Ajay ji, what is it that the numbers are not showing yet? What is your final projection? Coming back to you, BJP war room में तालियां थी, बैजयंत पांडा जी बैठे हैं, वहाँ पर वीरेंद्र सचदेवा हैं, वहाँ पर संजय मयूख, so many others were sitting, जिन्होंने सबने काम किया. war room से तस्वीरें आ रही हैं. अजय जी, what is the internal prediction of the BJP expectation?
Well, the current election commission data with me showing that we are leading in 43 seats and Aam Aadmi Party is trailing as going down and it's on 27. And next 1 hour, I'm sure we'll cross 50.
Oh. So the confidence is of 50. Rahul Shivshankar with us, Abhijit Majumdar also, Smita Prakash also with us, Chetan Bhagat with us. Abhijit Majumdar had the question. Yes.
Ajay Alok ji, my question to you is, from your figures, from the figures that you have, where do you see BJP gaining? Which section of society do you see BJP gaining the most from? Is it the middle class, the women?
Can we do VIP listing? Well, we are gaining from every section of society because every section of society has been betrayed in the last 5 years. If you calculate, 2020 election was on the performance of Kejriwal from 15 to 20, where he delivered all the freebies. Now from 20 onwards, when the corona came, the desperate chief minister was crying in front of his crowd, Delhi ke paas 6 घंटे की ऑक्सीजन बची है जी, दिल्ली के पास 8 घंटे की ऑक्सीजन बची है जी. A leader is not supposed to be helpless. He's supposed to be working for the people.
So the big breaking news
during Corona,
the big breaking news,
whole Sheesh was made.
Yeah, no,
and this
you're
was
right.
exposed in front of the public.
And I think this is really the Sheesh Mahal and the impact of the Sheesh Mahal, Ajay Alok ji, being that Mr. Kejriwal's halo of incorruptibility has crumbled, and that's going to be a problem. But the big breaking news now that is coming through, whether it was Ms. Kamaljeet who spoke to us or it is Ajay Alok, is that the BJP knows that they've got this election in the bag.
Oh, yeah.
This election has been called by the BJP. Yeah. Their war room is in congratulatory mode, self-congratulatory mode. This election is over. Now it's only a matter of margins. Yeah. So let's put that out there. And I just want you, Zach, before we go back to Ajay Alok ji, to give us a quick one on the VIPs. Where are the VIPs right now? What's happening there?
The three big ones were Kejriwal in New Delhi. Kejriwal is currently trailing. Parvesh Verma of the BJP is leading in that seat by a little over 2,000 votes. Neighbouring constituency of Jangpura, where Mr. Sisodia is currently leading. Again, very, very thin margins, little over 2,000 votes. But in Kalkaji since morning, which is the sitting Chief Minister's seat, Ms. Atishi's seat, she's been trailing since morning. She's not taken the lead even once. But I must say, the margins are still fairly thin, again around the 2,000 vote mark. So these are the three big constituencies. New Delhi, where Mr. Kejriwal is trailing, Jangpura, where Mr. Sisodia is leading, and Kalkaji,
what about Saurabh Bhardwaj?
Saurabh Bhardwaj is also trailing. Again, by 4,000 or so votes, Saurabh Bhardwaj is trailing to Shikha Roy, who I think was a mayor of one of the South Delhi corporations. Right. Again, not a candidate you would expect would defeat someone like a Saurabh Bhardwaj, but he's trailing by about 4,000 odd votes. And so is Mr. Bharti. Somnath Bharti in Malviya Nagar is also trailing to Mr. Satish Upadhyay, again by about 4,000 odd votes.
And if we just quickly look at the number of seats that were changed by the AAP, how is that? Is the anti-incumbency factor there?
AAP dropped 24 of its MLAs, almost a third of its legislature contingent. Out of those 24, BJP is leading in 15, AAP in 9, but that's a pickup of 14. So 14. BJP picked up 14 out of these 15 seats where the BJP is leading. 14 of those were won by the AAP the last time around. The AAP strategy of dropping its sitting MLAs hasn't quite worked.
Hasn't worked. The only person who's benefited, perhaps, at least at this point, is Sisodia, who's a little ahead. Otherwise, both Atishi and Kejriwal trailing right now.
Correct. Even Mr. Jain, Mr. Satyendra Jain, who was leading earlier, is now currently trailing in Shakur Basti.
So, yes.
About the upper class and the middle class and the lower middle class. Many of us tend to think that it's the lower classes which don't have access to civic facilities, which have issues with sewage, with crowded garbage dumps and things like that. But unfortunately, in the past couple of years, Delhi has become a city where even the sophisticated posh elite who live in these tree canopied areas, even they are facing issues of drains not being cleaned, overflowing drains, traffic issues, no parking in the common areas. These are and pollution, and then because of the the Kisan Andolan which happened as a result of that, the traffic jams. These are things which even the upper middle class and the posh and elite, even they are sick and tired of a government which was in power, unable to handle even in the sophisticated posh areas.
So let's have a look. You're right. Let's have a look at the South Delhi seats and see whether they have also sort of said, Thank you, but no thank you.
Other than Mr. Bhardwaj.
So if you look at the middle income seats, again the BJP has the edge there. They have 17 to the Aam Aadmi Party's 11. I think the two pockets where the BJP is really gained in these middle class seats are one in West Delhi, where you have seats like Harinagar, Moti Nagar, Rajouri Garden, again seats which the AAP used to have a bit of a stranglehold on. There the BJP seems to have taken substantial leads. These are on the western side of Delhi. Again on the eastern side, other than Vishwas Nagar where they've won from before, they're leading in Krishna Nagar, they're leading in Gandhi Nagar, they're leading in Rohtas Nagar. Again, East Delhi, middle class, very middle class sort of
and this would include
constituencies.
Atishi's seat, where she's trailing by 2,800 votes.
Yeah, Atishi's seat is in Kalkaji, that's in South Delhi.
Right.
But the only sort of middle class seats or, you know, lower middle class seats where the AAP seems to be sort of holding on to, seats like Wazirpur, for example, or seats like Sadar Bazaar. You have Patel Nagar where the AAP candidate is leading. You have Karol Bagh again where the AAP candidate is leading. But really in the western side and in the eastern side of the middle class constituencies, I think it is the BJP that's leading.
No, in West Delhi.
But Atishi and
Praveen Khandelwal, BJP
Okay,
MP is with us. Mr. Khandelwal, good morning. Is it going to be a glorious morning और a good morning? अच्छी morning होगी या बेहतर morning होगी? आपको क्या लग रहा है? बीजेपी 50 का आंकड़ा पार कर पाएगी या नहीं?
देखिए 50 से ऊपर जाएंगे. आज का दिन दिल्ली के लिए अच्छा है. मैं केवल ये कह सकता हूं कि दिल्ली की जनता ने आज अपने दुर्दिन खत्म किए हैं और अच्छे दिनों की ओर दिल्ली चल चुकी है. भारतीय जनता पार्टी प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में एक मजबूत सरकार देगी और आज से दिल्ली के डेवलपमेंट की नई कहानी भाजपा लिखेगी.
प्रवीण जी नमस्ते, मैं आनंद नरसिम्हन बोल रहा हूँ. एक बात बताइए कि क्या सबसे बड़ा फैक्टर है, क्या महिला वोटर को तोड़ पाई बीजेपी या झुग्गी झोपड़ी क्लस्टर्स के लोग थे जो बीजेपी की तरफ आ गए? क्या फैक्टर है कि इतना बड़ा रुझान बीजेपी की तरफ हो गया आपसे हटकर?
आनंद जी, मैं अगर आपको सही बताऊं तो ये इंक्लूसिव और कंक्लूसिव कैंपेनिंग थी भारतीय जनता पार्टी की. नंबर 1, प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी के प्रति लोगों का जो विश्वास और आस्था, लोगों ने, दिल्ली के लोगों ने कंपेयर किया कि मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में जिन राज्यों में बीजेपी की गवर्नमेंट है वहां पर गवर्नमेंट ने डिलीवर किया है.
जी.
अरविंद केजरीवाल को 2-2, 3-3 बार दिल्ली की जनता ने मौके दिए, लेकिन 10 साल में डेवलपमेंट का सिंगल काम दिल्ली के अंदर नहीं किया गया. तो जब लोगों ने कंपेयर किया तो निश्चित रूप से मोदी जी की क्रेडिटेबिलिटी कहीं ज्यादा है अरविंद केजरीवाल से, और इसलिए दिल्ली की जनता ने आज अरविंद केजरीवाल को सजा दी है, वो सजा जिसके वो हकदार हैं.
पीएम जो करते हैं, कहते हैं, वो करके दिखाते हैं. उन्होंने एक ख्वाब भी दिखाया विकसित दिल्ली का. ये कहा कि विकसित भारत के साथ साथ भारत की राजधानी दिल्ली भी विकसित होनी चाहिए. तो दिल्ली राजधानी जैसे नहीं लगती, ऐसा कई लोगों का के मन में था. लेकिन अगर रणनीति की बात करें तो बीजेपी ने, भाजपा का जो बीजेपी का दिल्ली यूनिट है, उसने इस बार क्या अलग किया 2020 के बनिस्बत? व्हाट वाज डिफरेंट दिस टाइम? क्योंकि कहा जाता है कि दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी पार्टी अगर एक प्रदेश विभाग को नहीं ठीक कर पाई, वो है दिल्ली प्रदेश बीजेपी. तो इस बार क्या ठीक हो गया, ये बताइए.
ठीक ये हो गया कि दिल्ली को उस गिरोह से मुक्ति मिल गई जिस गिरोह ने दिल्ली को 10 साल छला है, दिल्ली के साथ धोखा किया. आनंद जी, आप स्वयं देखते होंगे 10 साल में दिल्ली में एक नया कॉलेज नहीं बना, नया स्कूल नहीं बना. मैंने दिल्ली में कोई सड़क बनती हुई नहीं देखी, कोई नया फ्लाईओवर नहीं देखा. दिल्ली का व्यापार दूसरे राज्यों में चला गया, दिल्ली के लोग पड़ोसी राज्यों में नौकरी करने गए. मैं समझता हूँ इससे ज्यादा बदहाल स्थिति दिल्ली की हो नहीं सकती. तो ये जो फैक्टर थे, ये फैक्टर और नरेंद्र मोदी जी का जो कहते हैं वो करते हैं वाला जो एक सिल्वर लाइन है, वो लोगों के दिमाग पर अंकित हुआ और भाजपा आज दिल्ली में बड़ी सरकार बना रही है.
अगर अरविंद केजरीवाल अपनी सीट हार जाते हैं, आतिशी अपनी सीट हार जाती हैं, पर सिसोदिया जीत जाते हैं, तो इसका क्या मतलब निकालें?
देखिए, मतलब इस सब का एक ही है कि ये जो आम आदमी पार्टी नाम की जो आपदा है वो दिल्ली में खत्म होगी और अब पंजाब की बारी है.
तो आपको लगता है इसका सीधा असर पंजाब पर भी पड़ेगा?
देखिए, क्योंकि अरविंद केजरीवाल की या आम आदमी पार्टी की कोई पॉलिटिकल लीगेसी नहीं थी। एक आंदोलन की उपज थे, शुचिता की राजनीति करने आए थे, बड़े बड़े सपने दिखाए थे, लोग कांग्रेस से परेशान थे, लोगों ने भरोसा दिया और उनके भरोसे का कत्ल अरविंद केजरीवाल ने किया। वो दोषी हैं दिल्ली की जनता के।
पर आप ही मानेंगे कि बीजेपी भी अब रेवड़ी पॉलिटिक्स पर ही उतर आई है। जो आपने वादे किए, बीजेपी ने भी वही वादे कर दिए। कहा जो आपको मिल रहा था वो अब आगे मिलेगा, हम थोड़ा ज्यादा दे देंगे। वो 2100 कह रहे हैं, हम 2500 दे देंगे। फ्री बस तो अभी भी रहेगा, फ्री बिजली अभी भी रहेगी। तो आपकी मॉडल ऑफ गवर्नेंस कैसे डिफरेंट हो गई?
ये अब हमारी सरकार बनेगी ना, हम बताएंगे ना। और कम से कम हमें समझना पड़ेगा कि फ्रीबीज और संकल्प में अंतर क्या है। फ्रीबीज है जो चुनाव के नाम पर दी गई। अरविंद केजरीवाल ने फ्री की रेवड़ियां बांटी लेकिन दी नहीं किसी को भी। और अगर भाजपा ने महाराष्ट्र में जो कहा, राजस्थान में जो कहा, छत्तीसगढ़ में जो कहा, मध्य प्रदेश में जो कहा, हमने वो किया, तो वो हमारा संकल्प है और वही बात हम यहाँ पर करने वाले हैं। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने स्पष्ट रूप से कहा था कि वो स्वयं इस बात को सुनिश्चित करेंगे। तो अब दिल्ली की जनता ने हमको मैंडेट दिया है और हम दिल्ली की जनता के मैंडेट की रक्षा करेंगे।
चलिए, फिलहाल तो जीत आपकी तय लग रही है, निश्चित लग रही है, उसकी बहुत बहुत बधाई। Praveen Khandelwal ji, thank you for speaking with us.
I think we should call the election. I don't see this turning in a way that BJP will come down below 35. I think it's time to call the election. It's in 41 BJP, 29 Aam Aadmi Party. The close races are about 3 or 4 seats. Like I said, it's not going to flip in such a huge way that
So let's call that. So the BJP with 42 leads, clearly in pole position to come back and wrest control of the state of Delhi. Delhi Vidhan Sabha for the first time since 1998. The BJP coming back into Delhi and it sweeps Delhi handsomely.
5 big takeaways here. I mean, there's no doubt about this. This is a massive achievement. 3 decades of being out in the cold, reversed, completely reversed, and now you can call it the deflation of the AAP.
Rahul, I thought you'd
What will be the
appreciate
5
the
big
graphics,
takeaways?
the graphics that we are having, the Black Hawk and the India
sad
Gate.
neta has gone. You know, wo jo jhola.
The Jhola wala neta is gone and the copter is
Come
in.
on, man, I mean,
No,
have a nice word for our...
The only thing blue skies, can you imagine?
Not just that.
Blue sky thinking.
Among the 5 big takeaways, let's start with you, Rahul.
Yeah.
Would you start with the fact that the Prime Minister continues to be the most trusted face and a recalibration of political strategy
obviously,
and tonality?
I mean, that goes without saying, but I think the correction that the BJP has made is to run a localized campaign. We saw it in Haryana, we've seen it. So the big thing for the BJP, the big takeaway, whether it's Maharashtra, whether it's Delhi, whether it's Haryana, is localize, go vocal for local. They've actually taken the Prime Minister's slogan and turned it into an election.
So it's local, that means local politics.
Yeah, go for local politics, number one. Number two, most importantly, the AAP has a huge existential crisis on its hands. You can, as Rashid Kidwai, where is he when you need him? He says that the loser argument
just pause
is
at point number 2. Quick update, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be at the BJP headquarters at 6:30 p.m. this evening. Arun Danta is joining us live. We'll go to him after we finish the takeaways.
So the third point, very importantly, is that the BJP has realized that reveries do work on the ground. Now, whether you want to call them reveries or welfare or what have you, the point is, in a situation where, and this is a tacit acceptance also of the fact that there is stress on the ground, okay? So they've realized that we can't win an election now only on the promise of good governance. We also have to sweeten the pot a little bit. So those are 3 important things. 4, the India alliance under pressure. You're going to see deepening fissures. I don't know if it will survive to the next election, which is Bihar, because there the Congress will be asked many questions. They will make a demand for more seats. People will say, I'm sorry, there might be a problem there. And fifthly, the entire problem that the BJP faced of perception after the Lok Sabha is gone.
Gone. Okay, Manjinder Singh Sirsa is live with us, leading by 11,000 votes. Manjinder Sirsa ji, namaste, sat sri akal, and पहले ही मैं कह रहा हूँ बधाइयाँ. 11,000 वोट का 12,500 तो as we speak वो तो और ज़्यादा बढ़ गया. तो सबसे पहले तो मैं आपसे पूछूं, how is the feeling?
The feeling यार, जोश इस जगह ना जैसे पूरा हाई जोश में है, जोश इस हाई. और सबसे बड़ा क्या है कि दिल्ली में जो बदलाव आ रहा है, हम लोग उम्मीद कर रहे थे कि दिल्ली के लोग समझेंगे. दिल्ली के लोगों ने बहुत प्यार दिया मोदी जी को जब मोदी जी ने एक लाइन बोली कि मैं प्रधानमंत्री के साथ साथ दिल्ली की सरकार चलाने के लिए भी समा दूंगा, तो लोगों को विश्वास हो गया कि अब दिल्ली को बचाया जा सकता है। तो आपदा पार्टी बाहर जा रही है, दिल्ली में भाजपा की डबल इंजन की सरकार आ रही है, गंदे पानी से, गंदी हवा से, गंदी यमुना जी से, और करप्शन और बेईमानी और झूठ और बेईमानी वाले बहानों से छुटकारा मिलने जा रहा है। ये दिल्ली की बहुत बड़ी जीत है। ये भाजपा की जीत नहीं है, ये दिल्ली के आम लोगों की जीत है। ये उन लोगों की जीत है जो बहाने सुन सुन के, जिनके कान पक चुके थे झूठ बोल बोल के, जिन्होंने कान पक चुके थे झूठ सुन सुन के, 15 सीटें खरीद रहे हैं, 18 एमएलए खरीद रहे हैं, 25 एमएलए खरीद रहे हैं, कमल जो है लोटस ऑपरेशन फेल कर दिया, क्या क्या इतना झूठ बोला है कि समझ में नहीं आ रहा अब तो क्या जवाब दे। तो इसलिए ये जीत दिल्ली के लोगों की
सबसे बड़ा फैक्टर दैट वेंट अगेंस्ट अरविंद केजरीवाल एंड द आम आदमी पार्टी आपके हिसाब से?
तो देखो, एक जस्ट एक कोई भी पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम में एक फैक्टर कभी नहीं होता, लेकिन मैं मानता हूं कि सबसे बड़ा फैक्टर उनके खिलाफ यही गया कि जब मोदी जी ने कहा कि ये बहाने लगाते हैं, इन्होंने दिल्ली को बर्बाद कर दीजिए, आप मुझे देश की सरकार अपने दिया, दिल्ली की सरकार में मुझे दीजिए, मैं खुद समाज सरकार चलाने में लगाऊंगा। मुझे लगता है वो टर्निंग पॉइंट था दिल्ली के लोगों के लिए कि हाँ, अगर मोदी जी कह रहे हैं कि मैं खुद समाज होकर चलाऊंगा तो फिर दिल्ली बदल
तो 2 तारीख
झूठ और
जी बजट के बाद आई थिंक वी जस्ट लॉस्ट हिम मोमेंटरली, विल ट्राई एंड गेट हिम बैक एनी टाइम। सो ही इज सेइंग आफ्टर द बजट दैट रैली वेयर ही सेड कि आपने बाकियों को 25 साल मौका दिया, एक बार हमें 5 साल दे दीजिए, मौका दे दीजिए, विकसित दिल्ली का स्वप्न का वादा उन्होंने किया था। अनिल एंटनी ऑफ द बीजेपी इज ऑल्सो विद अस। अनिल, कंग्रेचुलेशंस आर इन ऑर्डर। दिस इज आनंद नरसिम्हन हियर विथ मी, जाकर जेकब एंड Rahul Shivshankar is also with us. Abhinandita of the Aam Aadmi Party also with us. Commiserations at this point, although the dust has not yet settled, the counting is still on, but clearly the trend's not favouring the Aam Aadmi Party at the moment. But Anil, how would you look at this performance of the BJP in Delhi?
Thank you. Like you rightly said, it's 7 or 8 rounds of counting is over. We are very sure that by the time the counting is fully over, our numbers will be even higher. It's the first time in 27 years that the Bharatiya Janata Party is going to come back in Delhi. And this is our best ever mandate in Delhi also. One thing that we have seen very clearly after the Lok Sabha elections itself was a historic mandate for us, where just for the second time in India's history, a Prime Minister came back for the third time. And after that we saw elections in Maharashtra, in Haryana, and now in Delhi. And everywhere the people have given a very clear mandate for us, our best ever results in each of these states, where the people are clearly saying that they would like development progress and they would like a double engine government that is led by our Honorable Prime Minister on the national stage.
Rahul Shivshankar,
we look at Delhi, there are other...
I've just got an update and Rahul has a question. Abhinandita is also there. Anil, actually staying with you only. Arvind Kejriwal, after 8 rounds in New Delhi, is trailing by 430 votes.
Yeah, you know, that 430 vote, I'm not going to sort of jump at it right now, but, you know, in a very tight contest, small constituencies where now only very few rounds are left for counting, playing catch-up is difficult. This clearly shows that he's in trouble. And, you know, I want to make a point. AAP's existential crisis will begin now, because the party has never dealt with loss in its own bastion, in its cradle. How will it now behave with loss? How does it cope with loss? That's the fundamental question that I want to come straight to the AAP spokesperson.
Abhinandita Mathur, yeah.
Ms. Sharma.
Ms. Mathur.
Ms. Mathur, sorry. Ms. Mathur, please. How will the AAP begin to cope with this? You've never lost in Delhi. Delhi made you.
Rahul, first we'll have to wait for the results. We'll have to wait for the counting to finish. But let's say that even if we were to say that, you know, AAP does not form the government, if you take that as a hypothesis right now, I would like to say that, you know, this is not just a win, this would not just be a win for the BJP, but actually the entire machinery that enabled the BJP to crush the Aam Aadmi Party, or try to crush. As far as we are concerned, you know, we are not very worried about the future, because we'll definitely thrive. We are not your routine politicians, you know, we are activists, we are strugglers, we will hustle and we will come together. And despite all the attacks on us, despite the ordeal that we have faced, I mean, the entire machinery against one man, Arvind Kejriwal.
No, but Ms. Mathur, one second. You said you are activists.
Despite all the challenges that we faced,
no, but Ms. Mathur, you said you are activists. No, very well taken, that point, you are activists. But when your great activism was centered around corruption, of fighting corruption, and Mr. Kejriwal, embroiled in corruption cases, gets a thumbs down from the Delhi voter, what is the issue that you're going to now coalesce around?
No, Rahul, things are not that simple. There are allegations of corruption on various politicians, but as soon as they join the BJP, they magically get clean. So I don't think things can be put this simplistically. And these are all allegations, but even if you go on the ground, people will have their own reasons to say why they may vote for the BJP vis-a-vis the Aam Aadmi Party. But I don't think anybody would ever say or understand that Kejriwal ji ne koi corruption kiya, koi apne ghar leke gaya, kuch aise kiya. Nobody believes that, and I'm telling you, it's
but
a matter
he made
of
it about
time
this. He said this
people
election
will
is
also-
about my imandarness, and I'm bringing that to you. This is a referendum on me and my cleanliness. So how can we now suddenly change the goalposts?
Let's wait till 5 p.m. for us to
because even as we speak,
make a
Abhinandita
final
ji,
comment on New Delhi seat.
it's 45 and 25 in favor of the BJP. Anil Anthony, do you believe this entire Kattar Imandar and Kejri model of governance comes a cropper? It comes crumbling down now?
See, in Delhi, this is a clear vote of no confidence against the Aam Aadmi Party also by the people of Delhi. We all know how this party came into being many years back, 10, 12 years back. It came as through an anti-corruption crusade. Then it was a party that was claiming to be a party of a difference, where it was against VIP culture. It was claiming to be for good governance. But finally, in the last few years, we saw that the party was doing everything that it claims it was against. Most of their ministers, including the chief minister, went to jail at different points of time for a lot of corruption cases. Even now, there are undergoing investigations. Many of them are convicted too. Then the party that claimed that one day it will make the Yamuna like the Thames, and now it has become a toxic dump yard. The Sheesh Mahal became a symbol of profligacy. And for every malady in the state, it was a state where even in 2014, where Indian economy was usually half the current size, a 2 trillion economy, then itself Delhi was a state that had a surplus of around 10,000 crores.
Right.
And this year, the projections show that this, for the first time ever, it is going to have a deficit.
Did you also...
So there was massive misgovernance. There was massive misgovernance, and for every malady, the Aam Aadmi Party was either saying that the center is
we have a
responsible,
reaction. There is a reaction.
The people are tired of... The people are...
Anna Hazare has said that Arvind Kejriwal did not heed my advice. But let me ask you what worked for the BJP. Did the BJP this time, rather than nationalize the election, localize the election? Because we saw each group, each community, every part of Bharat which is residing in Delhi being addressed. Even Malayali associations were addressed. Telugu groups were addressed. Marathi groups were addressed. Each group, each person by big weights may have prominent faces of the BJP. Did you really localize the election this time, and did that help you?
See, Delhi is the dill of India. It is like a microcosm of entire India. You have all, like you look at Delhi, like you have people from everywhere. There are almost like 3-4 lakh Malayalis in Delhi, like every other state. And this time, you look at what we have done in the last 10 years, we have created almost, our Prime Minister himself has initiated over 300 plus schemes that is meant to reach every household. Where almost every household are Labharthis of 6-7 schemes of us. There are from the Awas Yojana to Jal Jeevan Mission to Swachh Bharat Mission to even the Ayushman Bharat project, where almost 50 crore plus beneficiaries are there across India. After the third win we had in the Lok Sabha, we ensured that everybody over 70, they are going to get blanket free insurance coverage. And in Delhi, what happened? One of the 2-3 states which actually decided that this particular scheme won't be available for the people. So we wanted to ensure that we reach out to every single household, just like we have been doing across India. And yes, we did put a lot of effort on the ground.
I want to ask Abhinandita a question. Abhinandita, what we have seen, and we've shown this on the Magic Wall since the morning, you've lost vote amongst key vote banks, lower class voters, Juggi Jopadi voters, women voters, Purvanchali voters. These were all solid vote banks of the Aam Aadmi Party. You've eroded that to the BJP. How and why and from where will you start again? Mr. Kejriwal could likely lose his seat, New Delhi.
There are many people to give credit to for this situation. I mean, starting from the LG to, like all the agencies, as I said earlier, the way, the people of Delhi were made to suffer in these last 3 years. I mean, there was, of course, COVID, and after that, just the arrests and just completely, not letting the government work. And we've all been in the government, worked in the Sachivalaya to know how things were literally like stalled. So I think that there are many factors. One is, of course, the BJP's propaganda machinery is much stronger. Also, I think that people genuinely, did want to vote for the Aam Aadmi Party, or perhaps have, and we will have to only wait till 6 p.m. to analyze this better. And, obviously these will be concerns for us as well. We will look at every demographic, every gully, every booth.
Is
to
it
see
also
what has
possible,
happened.
you think?
But I think we would
Is it
wait.
also possible, you think, Abhinandita, that a large number of people in Delhi were just sick and tired of this cat fight that was going on a daily basis between state and centre, and they said, okay, fine, if that means giving, the same party power in both state and centre, then so be it.
That is what the people were made to feel. There was a reason why the government was stalled. There was a reason why, their gullies and nalas could not be cleaned as we would have liked to. That this is all happening by design is something that we have to remember and worth paying attention to, I think.
Well,
that whether or not people understand the chronology, we get 67, we get 62, and after that, that if you let Arvind Kejriwal work, there is no way you can defeat him. There is no way you can beat the work of the Aam Aadmi Party, because it's actually serving the people. It's doing unprecedented work, for the poor section, for women. So, I mean, obviously BJP had to do everything it can in its capacity and with all its might to stop Arvind Kejriwal. And what the people have decided, we will know later, but we will accept it with due respect.
Well, beyond the optics and beyond the posture, as far as television screens and media and as a spokesperson is concerned, I hope that there is a realistic introspection that did somewhere this Kejri model of governance led down the people of Delhi and did the politics of perception also hurt. Because Anna Hazare Abhinandita ji has just now said that Arvind Kejriwal seemed swayed by money and power. He did not heed my advice. That coming from the man who stood right next to Arvind Kejriwal in the India Against Corruption movement 12 years later should be perhaps a message. And somewhere did Sheesh Mahal, did the Yamuna aspect, did some of these aspects come back to hurt Mr. Kejriwal, despite perhaps his best intentions and the AAP's best intentions for Delhi. And the other thing is, Delhi is your fountainhead. Delhi is your base that allowed you to become a national party in less than a decade. And that losing Delhi today could also hurt your prospects in other states, including Punjab, Gujarat, and some of the other places where you had aspirations. I'm just going to open it into our panel here and ask them their thoughts. Chetan Bhagat, your thoughts, would you anything you'd like to?
Yeah, okay. So here's
46-24 as we speak.
Yeah, so some of the things is because what the BJP did right, and some, like in tennis, they say
unforced errors.
Unforced errors.
Unforced
by
errors.
AAP. So I think let's just make a list of that. So BJP did, like I said, Army, Navy, Air Force, RSS worked, Prime Minister made appeal, they were allies, big wigs, money, promises, attack on AAP, attack on Arvind Kejriwal. Even the union budget was used to kind of give an edge in the Delhi election. It became personal. And now let's look at the unforced errors. Well, the first one is they went to Gujarat. There's a book called 48 Laws of Power, very famous book. You know what the first law is? Never outshine the master. And that's something to think
And
about. I mean, nobody will tell them this, but this is the honest truth. And then on the ground level, they lost touch. They didn't do any alliance with Congress. He didn't resign and hand over power gracefully so that Delhi runs properly. And I think there's such an incongruence with image. We've had shocking politicians. We've had politicians. मैं शादीशुदा नहीं हूँ, कुंवारा भी नहीं हूँ, right? We've had, and
brahmachari नहीं.
The public
brahmachari नहीं.
Something like that. So the public accepts. The point is to be congruent. If you say, I can only afford a muffler and a T-shirt and a Wagoner or whatever, and then you build a luxurious house, it just rankles more. I mean, the Prime Minister of our country has never made those things. So when he sits inside a Range Rover, it's good. He's our Prime Minister. What should he sit in? What do you want India's Prime Minister to sit in? But when you start being incongruent, that's the issue. There is no problem in being little rangeen, but you then say that, listen, I am in Chief Minister, I need a nice house. I need space. I have meetings there. I now, we do work from home. I mean, you know, we need a nice house. I don't know about the jacuzzi still, but how you justify that to people. But
That's also work from home.
So you do all these things. There's lot of unforced errors. And like I said, the BJP threw the kitchen sink at this election because it must be difficult. Imagine Rahul Shavshankar is the Prime Minister, right? He drives out of his house.
Look at the
or
smile
goes
on
for
his
a walk,
face. He said that.
Goes for the walk, does his yoga, whatever, comes out. And then he sees a bus stop and there's Arvind Kejriwal's face there. You know, dude. Like, and you call, how can we take care of this? I mean, we can't win this little state with 70 seats and we're winning 3 times. So it is personal and they did a good job this time. You know?
The party which was a behemoth, the biggest political party in the world, has learned from mistakes. And the party which was supposed to be the startup in this mix, 10 years in existence, nimble, supposed to be light-footed and has perhaps tapped into a space unoccupied by other political parties, seems to have not learnt and understood from...
That's the reason they are the largest, right? Because they're learning from your mistakes. How else do you don't come first in class by just sitting good that half term mein first aa gaya. No, final mein bhi first aana hai. Final के बाद जो अगला tutorial है उसमें भी first आना है. My 5 takeaways quickly, I'll just run through them because RSS had the 5 ones. So I'll just do the 5. That phenomenal recovery for the BJP in Delhi from 8 to 46 currently. So that is like, I think, unbelievable, literally, you know. Most people didn't think they would reach this level. Second is, I think, reversal of the narrative of 2024 that the BJP is done and dusted and it's the NDA and the BJP story is over in the country, not the party of choice for Indians. Subsequent elections, one after the other, Haryana, Maharashtra, Delhi, they've said that that narrative of 2024 has been reversed. Third point is that the era of revolutionary politics, which started with Anna, which you just ran, that seems to be not appreciated anymore. People want their civic issues, especially in the metro areas and the city state and the bonsai state, as you're calling. If you don't deliver on those basic issues, sewage, water, all that we have gone through in the past 3 hours, if you don't deliver, that's gone. Fourth one, which I want to say, is that India alliance is dead before the first anniversary. I don't believe that they can recover from this because they are going to go separate pathways. Which way it goes is anybody's guess. My guess is that a third front alliance might take shape before the Bihar elections. The fifth one is nothing changes for the Congress. They were 0, they still are 0.
Nothing. Yes, Nalin.
So, first takeaway, the BJP is back, baby. In the sense that the BJP, which seemed, and Smita is right, which seemed to have lost, while it won 2024, seemed to have run into a roadblock, seemed to have lost momentum. That momentum is now back. It not only got reversed the losses with Haryana and Maharashtra, but Delhi, I think the wind is behind the BJP sails again, even more so than it was after Maharashtra. So the Iqbal of the BJP in that sense is back.
BJP is back as the masthead and says Delhi mein dil, Delhi ke dil, Delhi mein BJP.
I think the reason I'm saying that is also because the key, from a national politics point of view, the key voter demographics which seem to be breaking away from BJP or where it saw erosion of support.
47-23.
Some elements of the middle class. There was significantly among Dalit voters. And among the lower income strata, right? That seems to have come back, or BJP recovered lost ground there. We saw that in Maharashtra, we saw it in Haryana, we've seen that in Delhi now. Third, caste politics, which is what Rahul Gandhi has been talking about for the longest time, the caste census and so on. No resonance of that in Delhi. I think the Congress remains dead in the water. The Congress, which seemed like the back in the challenging game, you know, it was the Congress revival had kind of started, it looked like a year back. You know, all of that has been wiped out. The Congress is back to where it started before that. There is a tectonic shift in Delhi's politics. After 25 years, for 25 years, the voters of Delhi did not trust the BJP at the state government level, although they always voted the BJP at the national level. This time, they've listened to Modi's appeal saying, "Is baar hum pe ek baar vishwas karke dekhiye." So I think that is a major shift. And Modi remains the king of Indian politics.
I think the biggest shift, I think, for me, is that the BJP got out of MCD and is in the state. That's what's happened. So for so many years, when the Congress was in power, AAP was in power, the BJP was in MCD, the BJP gets out of MCD, and then somewhere it reflects. Abhijit.
Yeah.
the biggest takeaway is that BJP has learned from 2024, June 4th. BJP has got the states formula right. I mean, it used to be a party which is extremely strong at the center, but in some states it would struggle. State after state, it's doing extremely well. The Prime Minister has, leans back in the state campaigns these days, is not, all out there. Local issues are, the cadre is involved, RSS is involved. That is one. Two is, AAP's defeat is a big jolt to political entrepreneurship, especially the way it is going out in Delhi with its mojo lost in terms of corruption issues. That it should not have. I mean, freebies, not delivering enough, etc. One can understand, but the corruption allegations will haunt it badly.
Right.
India may see a slight, if not a definitely not a full rollback, but a readjustment of the freebie culture. We may see. AAP was the biggest champion of it. Fourth is, I still believe that Congress has an opportunity to more strongly occupy the opposition space, but Congress never allows itself not to be disappointed. So, never lets go of an opportunity to let itself down. And finally, this gives Mr. Modi a chance to recast Delhi as a showcase capital to the world. I mean, he probably, which is why he so desperately wanted to win an election which is almost mayoral.
But tell me, Abhijit, I mean, I want to take this forward, right? What are the elections that are coming up? You have Bihar, a crucial ally there. BJP, you got Bengal, which is again almost like an ideological project for the BJP. They've never won in Bengal. You have the southern states, you've got Tamil Nadu, Kerala, etc. going to polls next year. Does the BJP, what is the lesson that the BJP takes away from Delhi? I mean, Kejriwal had a kabza over Delhi for almost, 11, 12 years. Can they take lessons from here in a way to challenge Mamta in Bengal, to challenge DMK in Tamil Nadu,
yeah, I mean,
LDF, UDF in Kerala?
The impossible states now BJP actually could look at, with a lot more optimism, like Bengal, Kerala, Punjab, Tamil Nadu. These four look impossible, but who knows? As Rahul was saying, Punjab don't write BJP.
I just want to make a point. The fact that the BJP was looking shaky and perhaps beginning to question itself after 2024 Lok Sabha was because in the Hindi belt, where it had 90% of conversion, that's where, which is really its bastion, from there it looks beyond, That bastion was looking a little fragile. Now with Delhi, the only Hindi heartland state, really, or, as Nalin says, a bonsai state, nonetheless, winning that means that it can go back and say, okay, that genuinely was a bit of an aberration. We've got to guard against it. But now we are consolidating where we have actually begun from. The reverse of the
Do you think the BJP can use this to emerge as a serious challenger in Punjab, for example?
I would still, I would say don't write it off. There will be a little bit of momentum, but we'll have to look at the Sikh vote. We'll have to look at other factors. But most importantly, I don't think we should jump to Bengal and to Tamil Nadu, which will be the next cycle in early 25. I think let's hold our horses till then. What this gives the BJP really is that platform it needs. Now my base is consolidated. I know that even in Uttar Pradesh, that big, poll in Milkipur that I needed to win to signal to my cadre that look, we are back. That confidence now.
More than 25,000 votes there. Mustafabad 38,583. 46-24 is the score. Arvind Kejriwal in the 9th round of counting, trailing by 1,100 votes now. That's the story. Manish Sisodia is leading, Gopal Rai is leading, but Atishi is also trailing. Let's quickly go. Shalimar Bagh, BJP leading by 24,780 votes. Yes, Griha.
Okay, we've got two winners that have been announced. One from the Bharatiya Janata Party, Vishwas Nagar. We have a winner, Om Prakash Sharma of the BJP has won. Kondli, we have an Aam Aadmi Party winner. Kuldeep Kumar has won from Aam Aadmi Party. And more updates on the leads. GK, we have an important update. Saurabh Bhardwaj is still trailing by just 1,000 votes. That's how less the margin has become. Also, Rohini Virendra Sachdeva is leading now by over 17,000 votes. So another advantage, BJP. Kejriwal, like you mentioned, Anand, 1,170 votes, still trailing. Shakur Basti, another drawback for the Aam Aadmi Party. Satyendra Jain is trailing now by 15,000 votes. It's round 6 of counting that's happening.
So all the big guns except for Manish Sisodia of the Aam Aadmi Party are trailing, and this will hurt the AAP. It's going to dent. It's a big message coming in from the people of Delhi. There are other updates coming through. Amanatullah is leading by 8,725 votes right at the bottom of the screen. Last, you can see the news flashes. Sisodia leading by 3,869.
How much was Atishi trailing by? Griha, if I can go back to you. She's still trailing. She hasn't led even once since morning. But how much is she trailing by? Do we have an update on Kalkaji?
Do we have an update on Kalkaji? Please tell me the update on Kalkaji.
3,000.
3,000.
3,000.
3,000 votes. So she's
3,231. She's still trailing.
No. So right now, look at the numbers. Ramesh Biduri says my number was 46. We are right now at 46.24. Ramesh Biduri also said that I am confident I will win. So right now, Atishi is trailing by 3,000. Pravesh Verma says Arvind Kejriwal हार रहे हैं. Sandeep Dixit says Arvind Kejriwal हार रहे हैं. Arvind Kejriwal trailing by 1,179 rounds gone. 4 more rounds to go, and these are all the pro-BJP booths, not the pro-AAP booths, as Smita Prakash was telling us. Big message this has gone out to for the entire, I keep saying, Kejri model of governance, and they will have to recalibrate. Now, this will, somewhere in the national, is this not plotting the Lok Sabha?
Yeah, we could look at how the Lok Sabha played out. So this is 2025 Vidhan Sabha, 2024 Lok Sabha is more or less the same. The only difference you see is a bunch of blues here, but then AAP and Congress were in alliance at that time. Right now in the Vidhan Sabha, there is 0 blues, there is 0 seats to the Congress party, but the rest of it is pretty much the same. I think what the BJP has done is take away classes of voters. I'll start with the lower income groups. In the lower income groups, the BJP has managed to get a substantial hold. Out of those 32 seats, the BJP's got 19, the Aam Aadmi Party has only got 13. Let's look at some of the middle income groups, the middle class, which was always a BJP sort of kabza, as it were. Again, firmly with the BJP. Out of 28 seats, BJP has 20, Aam Aadmi Party has only 8. The women voter that Rahul keeps talking about, where the women turned up in larger numbers, proportionally speaking, in those 41 constituencies, BJP 26, Aam Aadmi Party only 15. Just a quick check also of the Muslim constituencies, where the Muslim voters are in excess of 30%. There, it seems like the AAP has a slight edge, 6 seats to the AAP and 4 to the BJP. Also, a big community vote that's gone as far as the BJP is concerned is the Jat influence seats. And these are again in the outskirts of Delhi, 12 seats that are Jat dominant, 11 of them the BJP is leading in currently. 1 AAP is currently leading in. Also, a quick check of the Purvanchal voters. Again, there used to be a big AAP base. There again, it is the BJP with a massive lead. Out of 25 Purvanchal dominant seats, BJP has 18, AAP only 7. So basically, across communities, across strata of society, the BJP is simply chipped away at the AAP.
So in Kalkaji, it's very interesting. Sorry, in Kalkaji, very interesting
leading by
in
8,000
Kalkaji, Ms. Atishi is trailing by about 3% of the vote. Yeah, 3% of the vote, because about 1 lakh and a little bit went to vote there. And the number of women that exceeded the number last time, the turnout, was by 3%. Interesting number. Interesting number. Just
but whether or not they have voted for the BJP and against Atishi is still there. But yeah, it's a good. But somewhere, would you agree that the BJP has been able to break into the core voter or the strongholds? Now, the confidence that Arvind Kejriwal had on the women voter, that's been busted. Smita Prakash?
Totally.
Look, I'm just looking, you can't now say that the women are voting in one particular manner. There are many issues which has prompted women voters to work. So you can't see this as one amorphous entity. You know, I think there are many things that worked. You can't say Purvanchalis voted also, because you look at the sweep that has had. But you know, I was looking at what somebody pointed out about what's going to happen in the elections that are going to come. In 2025, Bihar goes to elections. I think there's going to be a little more muscle flexing by the BJP in this NDA alliance. 2026 Assam goes to polls, they're already there. 2026 Kerala goes to polls. I wonder whether BJP can do anything in Kerala by 2026. Too quick, they'll need an ally. Even in Tamil Nadu, I think in 2026 they'll still need an ally. 2026 West Bengal, all eyes, because I don't think they're going to go with an ally. They're going to go one-on-one against Mamata. In Goa, they're already there. That's 2027. Punjab 2027, they have 2 more years. Are they going to go back with Sukhbir, back with Akali Dal, because now Sukhbir is not there, so it's a wrong thing to say, but Akali Dal. Is Akali Dal going to say, okay, let's go with the BJP, because otherwise it's difficult to take on the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress? They're fighting for number 3 position, if at all, if they don't align with the BJP. Will the BJP take a secondary seat? I've always wondered whether Delhi election was some kind of a tacit understanding with the Congress that we will not fight you in Punjab. You can take on the Aam Aadmi Party there. Here, let us take on the Aam Aadmi Party, and you.
No, why would that be? Why would that be? I think for the longest time, this was because of what Prakash Singh Badal did for the BJP and the Jan Sangh at that time.
Overtly, yes.
During the emergency, and that was the reason why the BJP was happy playing second fiddle to the SAD.
Look, BJP works in many levels,
no,
right?
but Smita, you heard what the Prime Minister said. Even before he came back and said a Viksit Delhi for a Viksit Bharat, he had said कि पंजाब में भी अब इनको तकलीफ होगी, पंजाब में भी BJP आएगी. He said this after Haryana. After the Haryana victory, the PM had talked about Punjab. And he said that the BJP will start working in Punjab. And the BJP is going to
5 to 6 years for BJP Karyakartas to have that ground network.
It's not it's about intent. What I'm trying to say is it's about intent. The BJP did not have any, it went from 7 to 77 in Bengal. It did, right? So because it went and said, okay, I want to get 200 seats. They got 77. You may say, why did you promise us 200 seats? But the fact is that unless you aim for the Everest, you won't climb a tree. That's the same thing that the BJP is doing. It's giving its Karyakartas a direction and want to go. And Punjab is a border state. One needs control of the border states to be able to regulate the border states. And we know that there are industries that are moving out of Punjab today. There is an issue of secessionism, there is an issue of drugs, there is an issue of lawlessness, there is an issue of illegal immigration. Look at it. The people who've been sent back from the US, who've been deported, where are the bulk of them coming from? Who are being blamed? So there are issues which are of national impact also, which are emanating from Punjab.
But
so
that way they don't have Kashmir under there. It is Omar Abdullah's NC which is out there.
No, but there is an administered, there is an LG offer, and 5 years under abrogation of 370. What did they do? They tried to regulate the law and order system. Law and order continues to be under the LG office today.
I'm not disputing the intent. But what I'm saying is that enough time for them to set themselves up in there? I don't deny that the Prime Minister is saying this, and sure, he has to enthuse his cadres to win every state. But will Punjab become a BJP state? I don't know, because they don't seem to have their cadres in place as yet.
I think there is agreement that it could soon become a non-AAP state.
There's one thing that I want to put out there, and perhaps Nalin will help me on this by bearing me out on the facts. Correct me if I'm wrong. In Haryana, in Maharashtra, and now in Delhi, some of the backward classes have come back. Yes. Now, this has an implication really, because what is Rahul Gandhi's politics been centered around? Which is caste, and more caste. Has the BJP been able to sort of establish its own connect and therefore somehow nullified this caste?
Yes. So, Rahul, for the last 10 years, the BJP's expansion was driven by its advances into the other backward classes and elements of the Dalit classes, right? What we saw an erosion of that last year with the Congress because of the whole issue of Constitution Khatre mein and all that.
Yes.
There is no doubt about the fact that in Haryana and in Maharashtra, the BJP got the result it did because it recovered its support base to a large extent in some areas, to some extent in other areas, but it got its mojo back among backward classes in Maharashtra and Haryana. So
this is all happening in the backdrop of very contentious debates in Parliament where the BJP has been accused of letting down the backward caste, the Dalits, and so on and so forth.
In terms of representation at the party level, at the state levels and BJP governments, the representation of OBCs and SCs in BJP is far higher than any other national party at the moment. The issue where the BJP suffered from was from a narrative that the constitution will be changed, and this is only elephant's teeth. The reality is that they're really against all of these guys and it's upper caste dominance. What the BJP has done is it's fought on the ground with RSS cadres, with BJP workers, and it's kind of created a counter narrative saying, look, this is not true.
Okay.
And that's, we are seeing the result of that.
Kamru Chaudhary is here with us.
But
Kamru
just
Chaudhary,
quickly, just pay attention to the bottom of the screen, the leads. Kejriwal trailing by 1,170
this is
votes.
looking bad.
Kapil Mishra is leading by 31,000 votes. Mustafabad BJP candidate leading by 40,000 votes. Amanatullah leading by 10,715 votes. So there are local strongholds also.
And what
local
about Sisodia? Where is
Sisodia
he
is right now.
He's leading by about 3,000 votes.
3,000. So I think
He'll
he's
become leader of the opposition.
yeah. Well, yes. Well, he got the safe seat. Maybe Kejriwal should have gone there. I don't know. But that's a tight one, though. Tight one.
Kamru Chaudhary.
But Kamru Chaudhary, let me just quickly bring you in. You know, Nalin Mehta pointing it out. Rahul Gandhi has been pitching the BJP against the backward castes, backward classes, saying kuch nahi kiya. You have betrayed them, caste census, this, that, the other, whether it's Maharashtra, whether it's Haryana, and now Delhi. Okay, Delhi BJP, that's the war room. That's the war room. Let's quickly talk about that. Anand,
Yeah,
you want to
Laddu
take over?
Batre, Bajant Panda, you spoke with him and see they're all there. Virendra Sachdeva is there, the think tank is there, Pratyush Kant is there, Rohan Gupta, some of the spokespersons, national spokespersons, Delhi BJP spokespersons, people who have worked hard in the behind in the war room. Pradeep Bhandari should be joining us. Some of them, Rajiv Babbar, and some of these people were also part of the narrative setting team. So Pradeep, Rajiv, some of the others along with Bajant Panda and others have been part of the entire narrative setting team in terms of what is the story that we need to take on ground, how is it that we need to approach. You have the Uttarakhand MP also and
Mr. Balooni.
Yeah, Anil Balooni with us. Amongst that group, there is also some of the other BJP leaders, think tank. Sanjay Mayuk was there. I saw him in the pictures.
I think a word for Mr. Sachdeva. I think the way he's turned around the state
Sachdeva.
unit. In fact, I vividly remember when he joined us on the exit poll coverage and you asked him that very pertinent question, you know, this whole gudbazi that happens in the BJP state unit. And he turned around and he said, have you heard any gudbazi in the last 2 years?
Last 2 years, correct.
And I think it's a fair point. I think he's managed to paper over the cracks. He's been a quiet operator. He's been working behind the scenes. In fact, he was told by the leadership, you don't fight from an individual constituency. You look after the entire state. And he did that. And today, I dare say he's a contender to be chief minister if it comes down to that.
I think there will be a lot of people who will be contenders right now and keeping their hopes up. Somebody who beats former chief minister,
I think Parvesh would be a
Parvesh
straightaway
Sharma,
a big
especially when
contender,
the Jats have voted and given such big votes. You also have if Atishi loses, Ramesh Biduri will put his hand up. Virendra Sachdeva is another person. Satish Upadhyay is there. Dushyant Gautam is there. There are some very, very key names within the Delhi politics and who would have, by the dint of their work, will be claimants. But we'll have to see how that works. We have with us Pradeep Bhandari and Mr. Badal from the Aam Aadmi Party also with us along with Kamru Chaudhary. So Pradeep Bhandari, congratulations. Pictures coming through of celebrations that happened a short while ago. You are part of the narrative setting team. Tell me what will be the final score? What's the expectation? It's 46-24 as of now. Was this expected or will the BJP take this number happily?
No, we had expected this, Anandji. I think we should increase our seat tally by another 1 or 2 seats. But the overall verdict has been that Delhi wants Prime Minister Narendra Modi's governance, and Delhi voted against Arvind Kejriwal's corruption, his sheesh mahal and his misgovernance. From the starting, I remember doing multiple debates on your channel and multiple channels. The Aam Aadmi Party people used to say the narrative is not with them, they don't have the niti, they don't have the neta. But we had the neta, that is Prime Minister Narendra Modi. We were setting the narrative on the ground because the narrative on the ground was Delhi wanted clean drinking water, Delhi wanted their civic issues to be solved, and our promises got credibility when Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his rally said that he will deliver. So yes, we had the neta, we had Prime Minister Narendra Modi, we had the narrative, and our workers and our state unit was working quietly on the ground. Last time we had a 38% vote share. Our target was to touch a 50% vote share, as the Honorable Home Minister said, and our vote share as of right now is 46-47. So which means a 20% vote swing, 17% vote swing away from the Aam Aadmi Party. It's an anger election and hope in Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Well, Mr. Babby Badal of the Aam Aadmi Party also with us. Just quickly putting the contrast, 2020 or 2025. If we look at the Vidhan Sabha, look, it's a almost a reversal. And in fact, if you were to compare this with the assembly wins or the assembly projections based on June 2024, where the BJP won the Lok Sabha all 7 seats, it almost mirrors the 2025 performance if you were to take that the AAP and the Congress fought together. Mr. Babby Badal with us, 62 to 24, I'm sure there will be disappointment and perhaps this was not expected, Mr. Badal. But the Congress says, हमारे साथ लड़े होते तो शायद जीत जाते.
देखो, first of all, let me put things in perspective. First of all, victory and defeat are part of the election process. But was it a level playing field? I don't want to sound like a sore loser, but the amount of misuse of authorities that the BJP put in, I think I would not be very proud of this election if I were in the BJP. So let me put this thing. First of all, it was not a washout for Aam Aadmi Party. Okay, we have been in governance for 10-11 years. Kejriwal Saab's style of doing politics is different from BJP. We do politics on the basis of our work, which we always categorically state that we have succeeded in doing this, and even not doing this. On Yamuna, Kejriwal Saab was candid enough to admit that we have not been that successful for Yamuna. But BJP style is something else. They will fund opposition parties. They will try with their deep pockets. I am just reading a line on this. Corruption did Aam Aadmi Party in. On your channel only it is written. I want to talk about the corruption which electoral bonds. 7,000.
No, I think we can talk about all this. No. What I'm trying to say, Mr. Badal, I think you are one minute. Let's come back to the aspect that yes, it is disappointing, this number, whatever you may blame the factor. I asked you a simple question. The Congress has come out and said, साथ में लड़े होते तो जीत जाते. Do you agree, disagree?
I think the Congress can pat itself on its back that yes, the Congress has succeeded in alienating a key India ally, and the Congress has succeeded in resurrecting BJP in Delhi. साथ में लड़े होते तो the onus was on Congress. Congress is a very small party as far as Delhi is concerned. So I think the Congress needs to get its priorities right.
So देखिए, Arvind Kejriwal trailing, Atishi trailing, and now I think we've got an update that Manish Sisodia is also trailing. Now is that a referendum on the Congress or on the Aam Aadmi Party, Mr. Badal? Kamru Chaudhary, you want to respond to Mr. Badal saying that the Congress is a localized, is a non-entity in Delhi?
Absolutely. People think that Congress is a non-entity out here. But why did we fight the elections all alone is a big question many will be asking today. Basically, we fought the election to reclaim the share of our pie that we lost in 2013 because Aam Aadmi Party came up to substitute Congress, and it was obviously propped up by the RSS and the like-minded parties. But then, having said so, we are lacking in a lot of things. It is a time for us to introspect what we did. We never broke off the alliance with Aam Aadmi Party post the Lok Sabha election. It was Arvind Kejriwal ji who came out of the jail and he said that we are going to fight the elections all alone. We said, so be it. Let us all motivate ourselves, regroup ourselves, and we went into the election campaign. Our cadre strength in Delhi was almost non-existent. We fielded all our top leaders in Delhi. Still the voters rejected. But it's a very welcome sign that at least on the
Did you really field all your top leaders, sir, in Delhi? Is a big question. The other thing is, it started with Haryana, where the Congress there, Mr. Hooda, etc., decided we don't want the AAP. उनको 3-4 सीटें दे देंगे, उससे ज़्यादा उनकी औकात नहीं है. Is what something which was said by the Haryana Congress leaders. So clearly, the AAP said, ठीक है, आप हरियाणा में हमारे साथ नहीं लड़ना चाहते, दिल्ली हम अकेले लड़ेंगे. I think this is something which. But during the campaign, the gloves came off. The kind of personal attacks Mr. Kejriwal made against Mr. Rahul Gandhi and what Mr. Rahul Gandhi said against Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. So that was also there. And I think both of them, Mr. Omar Abdullah has said Lado or aapas mein lado. That's what he has put out today. He's taken a jibe at both the allies within the India alliance. Pradeep Bhandari is had
just candid 10 seconds I will take. Yeah, basically you see, as a Congress worker, I feel that our Congress party's alliance with the regional parties has been the undoing of the Indian National Congress nationwide. Be it Mamata Banerjee, be it Aam Aadmi Party, or be it other regional parties that we have allied with. They have only decimated the Congress, and I have no qualms today to say that at least Congress should fight alone.
Correct. So you are from that school of thought among the Congress party leaders, and I think many of the Congress supporters, voters of the past, or even people who are observing the Congress believe the Congress needs to fight and stand on its own if it wants to resurrect itself. Piggybacking or being parasitical will only hurt it further, and this Parjeevi tag will continue to haunt the Congress party if they continue this down this line. So you are from that thought process. Pradeep Bhandari, had the AAP and Congress fought together, would the BJP have suffered? Because the AAP vote share plus Congress vote share is greater than BJP currently.
Well, Anandji, I look at it as a complete anti-verdict. The voters wanted to consolidate against Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. The voters knew that Mr. Kejriwal is corrupt and he's not delivered on the ground. Had the Congress coincided and collided with the Arvind Kejriwal-led Aam Aadmi Party, you would not have seen 1 plus 1 equal to 2. You would have seen 1 plus 1 equal to 1.25 or maybe 0.9. So it's not. Remember, Samajwadi Party and BSP had come together in the Uttar Pradesh Assembly elections, and our vote share had increased despite them coming together and their own core voters voting us. So elections, according to me, as the Aam Aadmi Party individual is saying, is not mere arithmetic. It is about chemistry, and the chemistry on the ground was anger against Mr. Kejriwal, which nobody wanted to touch, and hope which people saw under Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Now what?
All three are trailing. So Sisodia is trailing, Mr. Kejriwal is trailing, and Atishi is trailing. So all three star cast of the Aam Aadmi Party. Atishi, of course, has been trailing since morning. She's not led even once by over 3,000 votes. Mr. Sisodia is trailing by 600 votes, and Mr. Kejriwal is trailing by about 1,200 votes. So all three star cast, they are neighboring constituencies, New Delhi, Jangpura and Kalkaji, all three are trailing. So Rahul Shivshankar, what does that mean? Like they say, if you want to defeat an army, you have to decapitate the general. The generals seem pretty decapitated here.
Look, I've just written a little paragraph. Kejriwal's halo of Kattar Imandari eroded severely, which could now raise question marks about his long-term sustainability in politics for a party founded by him on the back of an anti-corruption movement. Being adjudged guilty in the People's Court will have implications for the AAP in other geographies. Kejriwal's best hope is now a quick exoneration from the courts. That's where he has to go. The AAP will find it difficult to continue this momentum, saying that we're a party of change, even in other geographies. This is becoming a problem. And you can now sort of say that this is, the BJP's overbearing style of politics, this, that, the other. In the end, unfortunately, it's the people that judge.
So look at the big faces of the AAP. Kejriwal trailing, Sisodia trailing, Ms. Atishi trailing, Saurabh Bhardwaj trailing, Somnath Bharti trailing, the gentleman from Shakur Basti, Mr. Jain trailing. The biggest names and faces of the AAP are all trailing.
Where does that leave
Now here's what the Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha has tweeted. Why aren't we talking about this, they ask. They say winning impossible, not putting Rahul Gandhi's picture. They've said winning impossible, 90 losses under Rahul Gandhi. 90 electoral losses is what they are claiming. Although in this election, Rahul Gandhi was not directly involved.
The BJP defeated the BJD. Okay, so that was a regional party. The only victory that the Congress has had against a regional party is in the state of Telangana. Okay, that's where the BJP's cadre base was not the strongest. It also had problems within the cadre base. It also and the Congress.
I think the Bandi Sanjay issue and the BRS.
Yes, and the Congress also won there by taking, pretty much cleaning out, KCR's party. It took away a lot of BRS sitting legislators and other satraps and built its sort of revival around those. But look at the other scenarios. You have the BJP now winning at least 2 states from entrenched regional parties. The AAP is not a small party in the sense that, yes, it may be, centered around one leader, but that leader actually won them a state. The only other party that has won, apart from the BJP, a state or 2 states is the Congress party in this country right now. Mamata has failed to break out of her borders. The DMK has failed to break out of its borders. The left has got shrunk now to a pocket of Kerala, some people say. perhaps also now looking at a sunset. So I'm saying that fundamentally, the BJP is winning even at the expense of non-Congress parties now. The Congress is not even winning at the expense of those regional parties. Forget the BJP. So this is a problem for the Congress, and the Congress can't constantly talk about. In fact, it'll have to look for a new narrative, or it'll be forced into looking for a new narrative. It can't say caste, caste, caste is not returning. No yields are coming. Yes, it happened in the Lok Sabha. After that,
Chetan?
Yeah, I agree. There's an obsession with the caste census, but we don't know. Like as a voter, what happens? Okay, it's good. I'm somebody of a who wants to do the caste census, but what will be my direct benefit? Are they going to increase the reservation? They've already done it in Telangana. It's becoming a big problem for the Congress now. They're saying first implement it in your party then, and they are not able to do it. So I think when something is not working, look at even the BJP. After the June 4th, they made changes. They made some distinct changes. You don't see that much of the larger than life image of the PM anymore.
Right.
It's more, it's very subtle, but there are changes because the world keeps changing, the country keeps changing, and I think the Congress needs to, is it working? You try a lot of things, it's okay to try, and whatever sticks, you run with it. But to keep on holding on to that one idea you had, even when it's not working, it's not, you have to capture people's imagination. And
Correct.
there has to be a way, even Arvind Kejriwal did it 5 years ago, 10 years ago, but now it's not working and something else needs to come in there. You have to be inventive, otherwise...
Well, a viewer has just sent this for the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party. You talked about change and needing to adapt. So he said, बदले बदले से मेरे सरकार नजर आते हैं, घर की बर्बादी के आसार नजर आते हैं. वह जो बदले तो जमाने की हवा भी बदली, दिल की खुशियां भी गई, घर की फजा भी बदली, सुने सुने दरो दीवार नजर आते हैं, बदले बदले से मेरे सरकार नजर आते हैं, घर की बर्बादी के आसार नजर आते हैं.
This obviously, like, there is some joy.
I want to add a
there is
caveat.
some joy in his defeat, which is very strange because he was such a loved kind of leader in the capital, and now there is suddenly, I mean, what is the anger against Arvind? Honestly, I'm genuinely curious. What has he done so bad to people?
No, the anger. You ask former members of the Aam Aadmi Party about it.
I think Chetan asking a very important question. Yeah. I think Arvind Kejriwal for the middle classes, and we are all from the middle classes at one level or the other, I think he was a new white hope. He represented a change from the old order, and I think there is almost a disappointment that, well, aap bhi waise hi nikle. There is, you're not that different.
It's from the Batman
Only
movie,
that's the
right?
sense.
He's the white knight that Gotham
yeah.
needed.
Yeah.
He turns out he's not the white knight.
Exactly, that is what he said when he came to politics. We have come to change it. He started with the change, did he not? I mean, that electricity, that water, the governance, asking going to the mohallas lane, asking the contractor, अरे तुमने ये 4 इंच कंक्रीट लगाया, हेरा फेरी की है, हम तुम्हारा पैसा काट लेंगे, make it 6 inches.
हमारा
what
पैसा
was
काट लेंगे, हमारे
contracted.
को जरा सबसे जरा कम रेट पे जरा शीश महल में काम करा के दिखाओ.
Sheesh Mahal is the story. This is what he said. He did it. That abroad you see in the European countries, US, everywhere, that the work is done as the people monitor that. There should not be any hera fairy in this. There should not be any corruption. He started with a very noble idea.
Internal लोकपाल किधर है? Internal लोकपाल किधर है आपका?
Sir, then let him complete. What he could not do is not a question now. That is already rewarded. You have seen it already. It is not that.
What is it that he could not do? What is it that he could not do? Boliye, aap boliye, Ravi.
Exactly. That what he could not do is that he could not play that honest politics, which he had come for. Okay, that
honesty
he
is
could
not the best policy.
You said Sheesh Mahal. Why, when the people went over there, why the Sheesh Mahal was not shown? You could have shown it. So look how many crore curtains are there, or how many gold toilets are there. Show it.
It is all
show
shown.
It to the people. Now let the BJP show it to the people.
No, it is all shown. The BJP has actually committed that they will throw it open to the public in some form or the other. The next chief minister is not going to reside there. They have said they are going to donate it to the public. Sir, the point is,
we are back to square zero.
No, sir. You said that he could not walk the talk. Raviji, he could not walk the talk on honest politics. I think that's why a lot of our people found themselves disenchanted with Arvind Kejriwal.
We are the first lot of the founders, 320 people who had founded the party.
Right.
So we know it very well. From where we had started, we won 28 seats first time, now we have got 23.
Correct.
So we have reached where we had actually started.
Correct.
But in the meantime, this man has created the turmoil in the entire politics. Did he not?
No, of course.
We'll
It's a-
remember him
see,
for that.
see, I tell you what, the
Disruption,
AAP
yes.
will, yes,
He has
the AAP will be
disrupted an order.
credited. Sir, I'll tell you, I've said this, I've said this on record. The AAP will be credited that within a decade.
Ravi, keep the faith. This
Within-
is only
within-
a-
within- no,
it's
within a
only- It's
decade.
only politics. It's only politics.
No, within a decade, within a decade of their existence, for a party to come up from nothing, from a people's movement, from a activist movement of India against corruption, to become a party which had national positioning, national presence in Delhi, a bonsai state, then in Punjab, then going into Goa, fighting elections, challenging, and becoming a national presence, is a case study in itself.
Now
But-
it's moving closer to 50, 48
but yeah, so
to
48.
BJP
But
and
this
22
is also
to
a
AAP.
testament that when you say something, you got to walk the talk in the minds of the people. The Kejri model of governance has been questioned here. Manish Sisodia is speaking.
सम्मान दिया, लेकिन 600 वोट से लगभग 600 वोट से उसमें हम पीछे रह गए। तो मैं जो कैंडिडेट जीते हैं उनको बधाई देता हूं और उम्मीद करता हूं कि जंगपुरा की समस्याओं को वो हल करेंगे। जंगपुरा के लोगों की जितनी भी चीज़ें हैं उनको हल करेंगे। बाकी तो अब बाकी देखते हैं।
सर काफ़ी टफ फाइट रही है, कैसे देखते हैं, कहाँ चूक हो गई?
नहीं, अब चूक तो आपको बताएंगे एनालिसिस करके।
Manish Sisodia conceded defeat there, saying I concede defeat, lost
Big
by
breaking.
600 votes.
He has.
600 votes. Has Manish
600
Sisodia conceded defeat?
636
Yeah,
votes.
let's get an update. Manish Sisodia,
636 votes.
606 votes. Manish Sisodia conceding defeat by 606
yes.
votes. Yes.
Yes. Manish Sisodia has in fact lost Jangpura. It is going to Mr. Marwa of the Bharatiya Janata Party. That has been announced.
Giant killer.
There's also an important update on the Atishi seat from Kalkaji. She in fact now is leading by 900 plus votes. So that is there. An update on Arvind Kejriwal also. That entire trail margin is now gone up to 1844 votes. 10th round is being counted in New Delhi. 13 total. So 3 more to go.
Yes, and these three are again, as Smita had said earlier, that these are all the BJP stronghold booths that are being counted. Now the AAP stronghold booths, when they were counted, Arvind Kejriwal was trailing by 224 votes. Now that's ballooned up to about 1244 votes or 1844. 1844
What a
votes.
decisive
Atishi leading by a few hundred votes. That's
900 votes.
900 votes.
So then she becomes leader of the opposition, I guess, in case
If she wins, because there are still 3-4 rounds there. What happens with between Ramesh Biduri and Atishi, we'll have to wait and watch. But that's what it is. One of them concedes defeat, the second one facing defeat, and the third one barely leading. What does this imply? Babi Badal is still with us. Yes, Babi Badal.
600 votes is a bad luck.
Yeah, that's bad.
Okay, only Kamru Chaudhary is there. Kamru Chaudhary.
By Aam Aadmi Party that there is a horse trading going on. So सबसे घोड़े ही दिखते हैं सब.
Ji, you're saying something?
I said, they said, you also picked polo royal game example. आम आदमी तुम्हारे को कुछ नहीं दिखता, गिल्ली डंडा का कभी एग्जाम्पल नहीं दिया. 3 चक्कर still to go, this, that, hold your horses. I said that's because the Kejriwal camp has been talking about horses. It's embedded in my head.
No, but this is...
That means they felt that they are winning and they are going to get poached. Because why else would you?
But this is not a poach kind of election.
No, but
this is not a poaching kind of election. This is a decisive defeat of the Aam Aadmi Party.
Frankly, the horse trading narrative comes from the side which believes ya to hum harenge ya to ye phasega. That's where those who are confident of a full-fledged victory generally don't talk about horse trading.
I was anticipating a little bit of this because you saw Kejriwal's statement last night. He was kind of talking about the vote machine, talking about the fake narrative and all of that. So I think at some level they were kind of preempted.
Sir, a lot of people,
they knew the writing on the wall.
whether these results hold or not, a lot of
was
people,
told that
the
Jangpura
day
is a
he
safe
said that Yamuna genocide comment,
Clearly,
that itself said that you are